Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Dorkvision stream. Last time, oh wait, we don't need to do last time yet. I need to tell you that we can watch this stream on Sundays from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time, and you can watch our sister stream from 7 to 10 p.m. again Eastern Standard Time. Keep in mind that daylight savings time just happened, so I'm a little tired, so's everybody in the world. Well, in the US, in the states that matter. You can find my books on DriveThruRPG and on the DMs Guild, and support me on Patreon/NobleCrumpet. With that out of the way, let's now get into what happened last time. So, you guys teleported to New Dawn, and then started making your way on to Connacht. It's still about 200 miles instead of 300 miles with this journey, so it's a long one. Thankfully, it's made faster by your flying carpets, your rod of 4 parts, and dusk flicker, so you can fly for most of the journey, ignoring most of the mundane encounters for level 1 adventurers.
Chris just took the same map that was once like vertical and tilted it horizontally and got rid of like 2 circles.
No,
oh god, I'm reminded of the freshman teacher who just rotated the pictures. God dang it!
Is that Trent Burleson? No. Anyway.
No, yeah.
No, I actually I sort of like zoomed in slightly to the normal map, and then like our normal world map, and then just kind of made it higher def instead of just vague colors and tree symbols. So everything should be where it is. Like if I get rid of the circles and lines layers, everybody's where they are. Like Connacht's over here, and
That's
Dawn's
really cool.
right here. These are where like the locations are, but the circles aren't quite on them, so that you can see some of them. Anywho,
Neat.
you guys flew over. Well, you heard that Hrem Alpicat was under attack by Connacht. You decided to avoid that direction and headed to the Karad al-Zihad city, well, town, which you had been to before. It seems that they were being basically besieged by Nudonians because they are rebelling. You're not quite sure why, but they seem to be following Hyronius now instead of the Light. No clue who could have caused that. Then you guys headed off to the next town, promptly ignoring that because that's not your problem, as much as you might have caused it. You found a Cyclops that was... You left a care package, that's right. You invisibled in and then made it seem like Hyronius had gifted them with a bounty of food and gold and stuff. You found a crying Cyclops on the side of the mountains that you were crossing, and decided to interact, which was everybody's regret soon. Large Marge seems to have had a cheating husband, but it turns out she's just very nearsighted, and she was at the wrong cave and talking to the wrong people. So led her back to her cave, where you found that her husband had no clue that she was gone, and thought that a gigantic stalagmite was her. Turns out the stalagmite was a roper. So that's where we lead you guys now. And I think it's a little too calm. Let's get
Have they invented glasses for this world? Because if so, someone needs to. Just not us.
Alright. The roper whips out towards you guys, getting a surprise attack. Let's get everybody, including Woobog and Large Marge, to the...
Actually, you don't need to invent glasses because Lesser Restoration is a thing. You just gouge at
True.
your eye, you get blinded, and you cast Lesser Restoration. Bam, eyesight back.
But if you were born with bad eyes, won't it never fix it?
Yeah.
No, that means you have a blind condition from the start. Bam, cured. Lesser Restoration cures everything.
Well, it only
But
cures
maybe
total
they can't
blindness.
afford diamonds.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
the bigger problem.
Anywho.
Diamonds.
So the poor people are all blind.
Yep.
Let's... Dusk Flicker will move on Zumasu's turn. Okay, let's progress. Does anybody have the surprise thing?
I have alert. I cannot be surprised.
Okay, you actually do go first then. As the tentacles whip towards you guys, Mao, you sensed a bit of danger nearby, and you managed to react in time.
This means I get to get an assassinate attempt off on it.
Sure.
Do it. Do it, do it, do it.
Let us bury this regret.
Hey, Lucy.
Let's move on, please.
So I really don't want to get close to it. Let's use Cinder Smite and attack with that. Where's my fucking token? There they are.
You're down there. Alright, you just barely have a little peek of it, unless you, like, move into range of it. It does have a bit of cover from the stones up here.
That's fine. Well, I guess it would be like a bonus action to hide and then to attack, technically.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, let's see what the Roper has. Yeah, you beat its passive just barely, weirdly enough. Were you clicking on you? Or the token for the carpet?
Oh.
Because you
Carpet.
rolled an 18.
Yeah, you have
No.
0 mods.
I was like,
yeah, so
that's a little sus.
It's not 30. What is going on? There we go.
That's a bit better. Okay, yeah. It does not see you as it goes lashing for your teammates. You rush around the side, peek around the outcropping of the wall, and fire Cinder Smite at the creature. Thankfully, you have advantage. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a hit. You snipe it right inside of its gaping maw for 77 damage.
With sneak attack. That's all included.
Alright.
And here I stay.
Does that include the damage from the attack itself and everything? I guess because it's an automatic crit, it would deal max damage, right?
It should deal max damage.
I thought that max damage was higher than that.
Oh, actually, it needs to roll a DC 18 Constitution save for the thing that I have not used yet.
Ah, yes. Okay. DC 18, con save. Oh yeah, I got it.
Pretty sure.
That is
I'm
the
gonna double
chunky
check.
con.
It is. It has proficiency in it.
Why did you have to use the word chonky for something that has been used as a Cyclops' fleshlight?
Then what Woobog have Boing Boing with?
No, I just nope. I regret everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, it takes 77 damage.
Okay.
As
would you prefer an adjective of supple?
No. No, I wouldn't.
no, it's Rocky for his pleasure. So
Please.
it slams into the side of his mouth, and a gout of flame bursts out. It shrieks in pain as it lashes with its tail and all its tentacles towards your allies, trying to grasp for Mao, but Mao probably has more actions, I'd venture.
I can move. I just hope that I'm not moving out of its range.
Nope, it seems to have a pretty long range.
Cool. So I'm just gonna keep moving back to everybody else after attacking, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. The Roper whips its tentacles. It has, let's see, 4 attacks. Let's get him done. 1 for Zumasu.
Yeah, that hits.
It slaps around your leg and pulls you from Dusk Flicker. You take 17 bludgeoning damage and are grappled.
You can still attack while grappled, right?
Yeah.
Man, the second thing with tentacles to grab you, the past 2 days.
Oh, you poor dear.
Mao, you're not hidden anymore. It tries to whip a tentacle around the corner for you, and does a 16 hit you?
No.
Okay, well, it has 4 more. You might as well try again, because you hit it. It'll only try one more
Alright,
time,
Dr. Octopus, with your 4 tentacles.
Oh, it has more than 4 tentacles. It just gets 4 attacks. Okay, that misses. The next one is going to go for Amon. As it fumbles around back there. Does a 25 hit you?
Yes.
Then you take 17 bludgeoning and are also grappled. So, boink. Fantastic. And then it uses its reel. Let's go. You guys are pulled 30 feet towards the roper, which is going to be Doot and Doot.
Question. Are we suspended in midair?
I'll say that it's.
so.
I'll say it's holding you up. Yeah.
Okay. About how high are we at?
This is a large creature. It's pulling you kind of down towards it, but I'll say that maybe you're like 10, 15 feet off the ground.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, you're not like a million feet off the ground or anything, but you are yanked from your mounts. Okay.
I think we're just gonna call it fall damage next turn. That's why I just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, there's no fall damage until you hit the ground. It pulls you guys in, and it's going to take a chunk out of, let's say, Amon.
What did I ever do to you?
We're there. Does a 17 hit you?
Yeah, I don't think it does. Let me double check. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. No, it does not.
Okay. It reaches and drags you in with its tentacle, and then tries to chomp on you, but you manage to get your feet at the edges of its mouth, just barely holding it open. You give it a punch, and it backs away with its mouth, trying to maybe find easier prey. Now we go to the top of the round, and everybody's no longer surprised. It's Mao's turn. To no one's surprise.
I'm gonna run to the other side and attempt to hide over here. It's actually a dash action.
Sure.
So, running, using dash, and then I should still be able to hide if I'm not attacking, right?
Yeah, if you're not attacking. Let me just check the old... Oh, you did leave its range, because its range is 60 feet.
Holy fuck.
It makes an attack of opportunity against you.
God damn it!
But it misses. It's...
Yeah, so you're out. It's good.
Yeah,
No,
its
it's
tendril
good.
slaps the bottom of the cavern, echoing throughout it as you duck into the nearby
A nice
niche.
fun whip.
Alright, is that it for your turn?
Doing the hide. Nice.
I'll say you're pretty well hidden. It's Marge's turn. Whoopog, what is that thing? Whoopog could explain. It's hideous! And it was... You sex it? Wog can't see too good. Marge splashes across this little pool in the cavern and rushes towards the giant roper and swings her great club around. And crits it for 26 damage.
Oh my god.
Okay. Does this guy have multi-attack? Yes, she does. She makes another
Yes.
attack and gets a natural 1. Well, easy come, easy go.
What a duality of...
The duality
Duality
of man.
of Cyclops.
She whacks the top of the stalagmite, and it kind of like bends the top of it, and you hear like a crack from its rocky armor. It does seem to be covered in rocks, not betraying its appearance. Zumasu, it is your turn. You are grappled.
But I am next to it, so I can attack it.
Yes, and Alina and Dustflicker also get their actions with you.
I don't know if this thing can take. Can things take more than one reaction? I don't know if it can.
You don't know. Some things can.
Elena's probably just gonna get a little bit closer. Or Dustfucker's gonna closer, take the dodge action. Elena's gonna fly up and give me the help action.
Okay, Elena gets up into its eye and then starts like flapping its little rabbity, feathery wings around. The creature does seem distracted.
And I'm just gonna swing. Does a 30 hit?
Well, actually, it was the
Well, a
help action, so
32
that's a
hit.
32 critical hit. That'll hit.
I better smite here. I'm gonna go probably smite here. Let's do this.
Yeah, that sounds good.
use a big slot and get this done quick. Okay, so I need to do some math. 2d8 plus. Why is there a +0? Why is there a +0 on that?
Undead. If
Oh,
it's
right,
non-undead,
right.
it deals 0.
Alright, yeah. So that's 3d8s. I'll tell you in a second. I'm picking a calculator.
Yeah, sure. Your dwarven thrower swings true as it collides with the creature's eye. It closes its rocky eyelids just in time, but it deals a massive blow. A surge of white light blinds everybody else in the room.
It doesn't have resistance to acid?
It does not.
Okay, or cold?
It does not. It does not have resistance to anything that you could imagine.
Okay, so far this is 46. Oh, plus the radiant. Plus my strength. Okay. That's gonna be 57 damage, I believe.
Nice.
Alright, 57 damage. Slams. Second attack, I assume. Or you could, well, actually, escaping grapple takes an action.
Yeah, an action.
But
Oh, I got a 30 again.
a 30 will hit.
This one is going to be 23 damage.
Okay, no smites?
How chunky it looking?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll do a smite.
it looks like it's finally starting to get beat up a bit.
I'll use the second level.
In game, less than 12 seconds has passed, and it's like nearly dead.
Well, pretty much we're just like, smite it!
You
Like,
guys
literally
collectively
everything.
saw a giant bug in the room and decided to squish it. Alright, anything else?
I'm good.
Right then, Boom Crash. A lot just happened in the last few seconds. It's your turn.
Yep. I'd like to get this over and done with as quickly as possible, so I'm going to fly up in the air so I'm out of range. Hold on. Wait, the spell has a range. Meh. Give me a second.
I
And
will
it's
let you know
loading.
that the ceiling is not out of its range. It has 60 feet range. Mao is just barely out of its range.
Okay, well, Mao is, and she is.
Way the
Where?
hell over.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm.
You basically have to dash in or two if you want to escape.
I don't want to escape. I want to cast. Okay. So for me, from there, and that still counts. Okay, I like it.
We'll take it.
Was it this square?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna cast Shatter on this little darling.
Okay, you soar across the room. The roper starts
And-
like fumbling around with its tentacles to try and grasp at you, even while it's like trying to eat these fellas. And then a rumble arises from the pointing of your wand. Is that from your wand? No, it's just a
No,
spell.
this is just this is a warlock slot. So
Okay, then shadows crumble apart the earth beneath the roper. It needs to make a Constitution save, I think.
save, yes. Constitution saving throw.
It's good at those. Does a 22 succeed?
No, it does not.
Damn. I'd like to let you know that I think that in the Tomb of Annihilation, a Sararak's magic saving throw is 23, so...
Mine is higher.
He-
Okay, I'm sorry, that's very satisfying for me. That makes me very happy.
This is why the
Okay.
negative version of you was such a pain in the ass.
Probably yes, that is
Yep.
fair. Okay, so
It's okay, he's dead now. Don't worry about it.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
We saved their world from us.
1d8, so that's 1, 2, 3. So that is 68. 6. No, don't. Please work with me here. Oh, wow.
Fantastic. It's a little low, since
Yeah.
it should be a bit higher than 28, I think. But either way, it crumbles a bit, and the roper tries to like climb out of the little pit that's made underneath it. It seems shaken but not stirred.
Okay. And is it made of inorganic material such as stone or crystal?
It itself isn't. It just has skin that's hard as rock. But
Okay,
it
got
is made of flesh.
Okay. Oh, that's worse. Okay, it's fine.
Well, it feels
I'm
nicer.
not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it, Chris.
Speaking of that... Me sorry, Marge. Me hide over here for now.
Oh no.
It is the roper's turn. The roper is going to try to grab at Boom Crash with a tendril. Does a 19 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. Then you be grappled.
Wait, no shield.
Oh, yeah, you can react.
I
and
forgot.
cast shield.
I keep forgetting I can do that.
Okay, you increase your AC. What is your AC now?
My AC is shield is +5, correct?
Yep.
+5 bonus to AC, so my AC is now 20.
Exciting. It'll try one more time since there's not too many targets left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That is fair.
that's not the right thing. It's tendril. Okay, 25 does
That's
that.
Okay.
You are grappled now and take 10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, Boom Crash, you better grab our carpet since you're the only one that can grab it and just in the air.
Right. Next, it's going to attack Dusk Flicker with a tendril attack.
Dusk Flicker took the dodge. Yay.
Oh ho! It'll try again. Might as well. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
This time it crits for 19 bludgeoning
No,
damage.
does the dodge only work on the first one, or is it all?
Oh no, it is on all of them. But
But it's 29.
the 29 still
I...
hits, but it doesn't do the crit damage, so you just take 9 bludgeoning.
That was why I cared about that.
Oh, okay. It lives?
Yeah.
He's got enough health.
Oh no, I confused the familiar with the horse. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was surprised he wasn't attacking Elena, but he might still do that.
Well,
Might be too slow.
it's a little thing. It's a little morsel that it doesn't really care about. Now it's going to reel you guys in. This really only applies to Boom Crash. So you're gonna go 30 feet towards the creature as you are pulled in. And Dust Flicker as well. It'll just pull it over here. And let's see. Let's bite Sumasu because that hurt.
I'm gonna. Yeah, okay.
Do you want to react before I attack or after I attack?
Actually, clarification. Can I react after you attack?
For what?
I
Yeah.
want to use my boon.
What is your boon again?
I get basically the next. I negate the next incoming damage. But the reason why I'm asking, are we counting it like a shield reaction where I have to be aware, or are we counting it like I have to do it before something? Well, it would make sense something would attack me and then I'd react, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So first see if it hits me, and then I'll see if I want to use it before you roll damage.
Okay.
It misses.
Yeah, it misses. Yeah, it doesn't have advantage from grappling you. It just exists. Now it's going to. It's gonna move.
Oh yeah, it can move with us.
It doesn't move that far, but it starts creeping its way into the corner here. Then it's gonna just hide its meals on this side, away from its friends. It turns its back to Large Marge and Boom Crash. However, Large Marge gets a attack of opportunity against the creature as it runs away, and that doesn't hit. It has AC 20.
Oh.
Also, Boom Crash moves like 10 feet from its movement. And that's it. Amon, it is finally your turn.
Alright. I gotta be a bit of a party pooper. I'm gonna attempt to cast Banishment. Like,
I think we could just punch it to death, but you do you.
Everyone's being held in this tight hug, and you're all just punching it in the eye.
yeah, so it needs to make, man,
It's a
why
charisma
can't I-
save.
Charisma save.
If that thing has high charisma,
Ugh,
I mean,
sorry.
it did seduce the Cyclops.
It was unaligned from the grid. Alright, let's see, charisma. I said charisma. Save. Well, it could have had advantage, but it didn't. It gets a 7.
Now, that releases all of us because it's gone. However, because it released us, I'm going to take fall damage. So, and let me see if I have any monk thing that prevents fall damage, because I just realized, like, this never comes into play. So, let me just double check. Okay, class monk. Let's see, what am I? The monk. Yes! Okay, I have slow fall. I think I have to spend my key point first. Let me just double check.
I don't think you have to. I think that's a free one.
Yeah, I can reduce the damage taken by 5 times your monk level. So I can reduce up to 20 damage of it. So...
Well, 20 feet of it. Or is it...
No,
it
20
damage? Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you're not going to take enough damage to make it more than that.
Yeah, d6 per 10 feet, so yeah.
Okay, you gracefully land on the ground. Zumasu and Dust Flicker and Boom Crash, I guess, make dex saves.
But I can fly.
Yes, but you're falling prone, and flying creatures, when they fall prone, they fall out of the sky.
Gotcha. Nope.
Hey, Dust Flickers somehow got close to me because of the way it works, so it gets my thing. Okay, Dust Flicker makes it because it's 19, I'm guessing? What's the save?
Yeah, it was just gonna be an easy save, like 15.
So even I make it.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody made it. Okay, then you guys just take, I'll say Dust Flicker, Zumasu take no damage. Boom Crash, you deliberately said you were higher up, so I'm gonna say that you're gonna take half damage.
Okay.
You take 6.
Okay.
How's the tank doing?
I still have 1 bonus a hit point from the Abjuration Shield.
Wow. Wow.
Alright, well, it's the top of the round, but the creature is banished for a full minute until, I guess, it decides to come back with Amon. Because it is not an extraplanar creature, it'll come back in a minute. But for now, things are tense. Marge runs up to the creature, like, just barely fading, flickering in and out of existence in its shadowy form as it, like, whips its tendrils around, and she starts swinging at it. And it's, like, not connecting.
Sweetie? It's gone for now. It's not here.
It's gone for a timeout, but it'll be back in about a minute.
Marge can't see anything good. We thought there was a thing there.
It's gone for a little bit. It's gonna be back in just a moment.
What we do? Marge don't want that thing in our cave.
I'm gonna say deal with it, and I'm just going to just walk away.
Boom Crash sort of shouts out, "It's like, is this your executive decision?"
No, I have executive veto. I don't have executive decision. I make a decision to get out of here. But first, I'm gonna point at the carpet. It's like, we need to retrieve those.
Boom Crash is gonna use her movement, fly up, and grab them and bring them back to people.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
You can grab them out of the sky.
Yeah, that's basically like 2 rounds of stuff. So
yeah,
we have about 7. We have 7 more rounds.
You just gonna leave cave? Leave Marge to fight thing?
Yes, it's nearly dead.
Don't you want your revenge?
I kind of want to kill the thing that just bit me.
Well,
then line up a shot. I'll wait here.
If you want to.
I'm gonna cast a smite on. I can double smite with this because I have the prep time.
Okay. Well, Amon leaves the cavern, and well, I mean, if you want to, and then everybody else kind of like lines up a blow for when the creature returns.
I'll be at the entrance.
Marge doesn't like you guys, but she's fine that the rest of you guys are staying.
I'm just clicking that to show that I have it set up. It doesn't go yet.
Okay. Yeah, you cast Thunderous Smite and start charging your weapon with thunderous might. It starts vibrating with power, and you hold onto that smite until the creature returns. Alright, is everybody where they want to be?
Let me put myself over there at the entrance. And okay, good to go.
Elena's gonna give Dust Flicker the help action. This time Dust Flicker's gonna kick it.
I cast True Strike on myself.
Okay.
I am hiding.
You are very well
What is
hidden.
it?
Marge
Does
is...
this count as another assassination attempt?
Nah.
No. It's aware of you guys.
It has to be surprised.
Alright, you guys set up, and Marge kind of gets the idea. She takes her club and she starts, like, getting it ready to swing it like a bat. Alright, here it comes! The roper reappears. I believe... When does it end? On Amon's turn?
Oh, the banishment?
Yeah,
I believe it ends on my turn, so let me double check.
that's fine. If it ends on your turn, then I'll say that it definitely doesn't get to act. You guys get to all act first with your reactions.
Yeah.
So you can pile those on.
Yeah, it was like it ends 1 minute, so it counts from my time. So yeah, end of my turn, I guess.
Okay, who wants to roll first, I guess? Or should I?
Marge
I'll
swung.
resolve mine. Okay, did you hit it?
Yeah.
She gets the first dibs.
Cinder Smite flies out and does, so far, 17 damage, plus other stuff probably.
God damn it. Do I have advantage on this?
From the help action, yes.
Okay. Well, actually, the help was to Dust Flicker, so I missed.
Oh, well
God
then,
damn it.
no.
Well,
Swing
my
and a miss.
smite doesn't go away, so that's fine.
Yeah, you're still concentrating on it. Yeah! You thought that tendril was gonna be there, but it vibrated a little bit. Okay, at least
Dust Flicker
Dust
actually
Flicker
hits.
for 8 damage.
Bonk.
Wow, it lived. Well, it's Mao's
I
turn.
missed. I missed. God damn it.
Oh wait,
Boom
is
crash.
Boom Crash.
Boom crash.
Yeah.
And she has True Strike.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You weren't on the screen, and I just saw a bunch go through, so I didn't know.
3, 4. How many do I have? 4.
I believe you have 4.
And 2 of those are critical misses.
Yep,
Christ.
but 2 of them are hits for a total of
How
20 damage. It has.
How many ones have we seen this night?
At least 3.
Enough.
Yeah.
This
It's
entire
fine.
night, this encounter is a 1. So Boom Crash is just taking the L right now.
I think
Okay,
you
I
killed it, though.
guess.
You guys pile on as many attacks as you can. Zumasu missing his strike. Mao, you ready another arrow, I assume.
It's still
Oh, it's still
alive?
Yeah, it has 2 hit points.
Fuck off!
Another blow straight to its eye when it turns towards you guys, and Cinder Smite connects, and a blaze of fire erupts from its bulbous orb of an eye. And it starts like shrieking and spewing stuff. Gross liquid starts coming out of its mouth, and it slumps over, flaccid and defeated.
It's fun.
Okay.
Now we can leave. We can just leave. I'm just leaving.
Let's just go.
Yeah.
Okay, Marge, you're good? You're happy
I
with
have fun
your
with
husband?
Dust
He's not cheating on you, and the thing is dead, so bye!
Also, you deserve better. He's hiding.
Me sorry, me hide. Me just don't want to get in Marge's way. It okay, Woobog. We can use this. She holds up the roper a
Leaving.
bit, and you guys decide to make a
Leaving
Nope.
hasty
so much
exit.
out.
We decided to use this.
All right. Oh no,
Nope.
I forget which music we use for flying. Oh well.
Peter Pan song.
Wait, that's Tale
Great.
as Old as Time. Oh man, I like don't have a playlist for this, but it's fine. Let's just do.
So we're just not gonna speak of this ever.
Ever.
Cool. All right, we're all underneath the same understanding. Great, love it.
Cyclopses are dumb.
Yeah,
I hate to generalize, but damn.
you know, they need something to help them see at least, because That was nasty.
That was rough.
That was.
Oh,
Okay.
They can
Yep.
live in peace. They can have their fun. I don't
They
want
are happy, and that is all that matters. And I'm out.
What's
Wow.
next in the encounter?
Who else is here to adopt?
Who else is here to fucking disown? Okay, let's be real.
Boomcrash is off to go and kill something.
Well, I mean, you had the chance.
Who's here? Who else is here to disown? Mouse starts getting really polite. No, I'm fine.
No, Mal, come here for a hug. You're still my baby.
Floats over.
The next encounter, a Biclops.
What if it's just a two-headed Cyclops?
It's just a giant.
Exactly.
Is it still a Cyclops if it's a two-headed Cyclops?
No,
or
it's a
does
Biclops. Oh,
Okay.
that, it's
Or
I think that's still an Etten.
No, it's a Bicyclops.
That's an Etten with 2 eye patches.
Okay. I'm glad I brought up this quandary.
So, you guys leave the cave, sickening noises behind you, and there
Need that.
there are some ways that you can go. You're passing by the Boulder Hill mine. You know that place was, it was the first place that was destroyed, well, taken during the start of the war. You don't really know much about it. It's on the way, but you could stop there. The other option is to head to Eirdsidh Cross, which is one of the Connaughton towns that is also nearby. Either way, it's probably going to be in sight of your, within eyesight of your flying doohickeys, even if you turn invisible for a while.
So if we want to approach, then possibly approach from the ground earlier on, is what you're saying?
It's up to you guys how you want to handle that, but basically it's the direction that you want to head.
Right.
Yeah, I say we go to the cross because, it's a direct path.
Same.
Well, they're both sort of direct. It's just the orientation of this. Like Boulder Hill Mine, I think, is technically right there, and Eirdsidh Cross is kind of like right there. So they're both almost equidistant.
Hey, we don't have to follow airspace rules in this setting. We go direct.
Okay,
None of
Air
this
India.
none of that watching for collision and shit.
Okay, Air India.
So y'all want to do some invisibility shenanigans or what?
Well,
I mean, okay, first of all, we don't even know what's the deal over there, so I say we just approach
Let's
directly.
go. Let's just
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fly a little higher so I can keep a bird's eye view.
are we still planning on trying to do the whole merchant thing when we get to Connaught, or is that out?
Yeah, I mean that's
that's
a
still
good way
fine.
to sneak in.
Okay.
I mean, Boomcrash again. I kind of point to the flamboyant bird. Definitely play the part.
She does sort of like the whole like genie lounging on the air thing while she's
Nice.
flying through, and is like, yeah, I can do that.
Nice.
Pretty easy to, yeah. And like it just look at you and me, Mal. Like we could look like thugs.
I can just do what I did last time and look like a weird horse person.
A centaur.
No. It was just the person who picks up poop for horses.
Sure. Okay. A dust flicker can still be a horse.
Yeah. I think that worked pretty well.
Yeah, we
Although-
got this.
Wait, didn't someone say something about a Pegasus being, like, known in Connaught? Like, they ride on them or something?
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
their
It might be
mount
worth
of
the-
choice. They're just
Hmm.
common in the area, as opposed to griffins that haunt the Scablands.
Don't worry about it.
We can all get Pegasus.
Look,
Pegasi.
we can tell them that we stole the Pegasus, and what are they gonna do? Attack us? Good luck.
You can't
Alright.
all get Pegasus, Yugi boy.
Mm.
Sorry.
Okay.
So, what are we doing at the fort?
Eared,
Or
eared
the cross.
side cross.
Eirdsidh Cross, I think is...
Sheath.
yeah,
We
I think that's
gotta-
technically
we
how you
gotta
pronounce
do
that one.
Are you
perceptions
using,
or
like,
anything?
Gaelic for Connaught?
Yeah, Connaught has always been Gaelic.
I don't know how to pronounce Gaelic
Yeah,
words. They
yeah,
look weird.
I was saying, like, Chris, like, you're the one that made it. Like, what do you mean you think it's pronounced this way? What the hell, man? That was-
Yeah. Oh well.
This is a hell of your own creation.
I know.
Yep.
And I'm fine with it.
Okay, good.
You are cursed with your own knowledge.
You guys decide to head towards the town, ignoring the Boulder Hill mine. You approach
It's still
flying, and you had mentioned maybe going on foot. Do you want to do that, or do you want to fly over?
Let's just
think
fly over.
fly
Unless
is
we get
closest
shot
to
at, I don't really care.
Yeah,
Hmm.
can we at least get like
Okay.
a view of stuff as we fly over?
I mean, yeah. Night is starting to fall. The place looks... I mean, it's hard to see anything because you're so high up, but otherwise it just
trees.
looks like it's active. There's, you know, some orange fires glowing down from beneath the town. Looks like there's a wall surrounding the town, but it doesn't look like a huge defensible perimeter. It's just got, like, guard towers posted.
Neat.
Cool.
They're not being sieged or anything. They're just doing their job.
Yep. It does appear to be a Connaughton town. It has a distinct architectural difference, and it's on the edge of the forest. I guess at this point I will also ask, are you guys pushing through, like, with exhaustion, or are you staying here?
Can we stay on like the outskirts so we don't have to interact with anybody?
You can, but that'll be riskier than staying in a town, as far as encounters
Okay.
go.
I have a
We
question.
should just
No.
chill in the town.
Okay, so we don't. Okay, so the middle path is just like a wild encounter. So you know what? Let's go into the town. I think because
Yeah.
the second path is unless we go to Fort Grennan, we're not gonna get lodging whatsoever.
Well, then what we should do is go to the other side of the town, and then we should try to enter through the forest. That way we don't appear to be anything associated with New Dawn. Eh?
I don't know if that's necessary. I mean, if there's the mines over there, it's like people go through this area.
Yeah, and we look weird regardless. So I don't think it's gonna matter.
I actually, you know what? No, you're right. That's actually a good point, because New Dawn doesn't look weird. They all look the same.
As soon as we start like talking about arcane magic items, like they'll assume that we're not chill with New Dawn.
That's true.
Yeah,
So-
so we can get out on foot and just, go get
We
a nice
can-
little place to sleep.
And we could be as flamboyant as we want, and that's normal.
Yeah, I think we're worried too that much. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah,
It'll
I
be
wanna-
fine.
it'd be nice to have a bed. It's been a while.
You guys land just outside the gates of Eirdsidh Cross, and the guards call out to you, "Halt! Who goes there?"
We're traveling through. We're looking for lodging if anything's available.
My and I kind of motioned to Crash. My master would like to see if she could have lodging.
Oh, darling employer, please. We're all friends here. Hi there. My name is Tea Kettle Whistle. Is it possible to enter and stay for the night?
Hang on! Open the gates! The small gates! And, the, the large, gates, they do have, like, a smaller door at the base of it, and it opens up after a few minutes of jingling of keys, and another guard presents themselves. Hi. You're from
there.
Connaught?
We're traveling merchants, so...
We're traveling to Connaught. Why is that a
traveling to
problem?
Connaught.
Let me see what you got on you. I just gotta make sure that you aren't carrying anything bad. Or contraband, especially for merchants. You got bags of holding?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course. It's the most convenient way to travel and transport goods.
I'll need to see those as well.
Okay.
Mine's a pocket.
He didn't
That's
ask about your pocket.
No.
I didn't ask about the pocket, so I will produce mine. I'll produce. Is it fine, Boom Crash? For
Yeah, Boom Crash sort of presents hers as well.
So,
you're a girl. You're assumed to have no pockets available.
if you guys are trying to hide anything, you would have to make a sleight of hand check against this guy. Otherwise, he's going to try an investigation against you.
Okay.
Okay.
I
guess
don't have.
Just
What?
hand it off to me if you want me to hide it.
I think the only thing that I'm going to actively try and hide is the church's cult robe
Yeah,
that I
fair.
have.
that's fair.
For me, I have. Well, here's my question: are they gonna just like do a TSA check where I still see the bag or anything, or are they gonna take it somewhere else?
It looks like they're going to search it, in the... They're gonna take it into the guard room and search it there.
Oh, and the blasted unicorn horn. Those two. I'm going to pocket those two.
Okay, put them in the chat and let me know who's hiding them.
I am leaving all my items bare. If they question me for it, then you guys can just kick me out.
Which chat? Dorkvision and the...
I guess it doesn't matter, but maybe put in the Roll20, just
Okay.
for
I'll
visibility.
the only thing I guess I'll take is the Black Razor out because that's bad for other people to have.
But it's remember the aura is masked.
It's more so I don't want it to accidentally be taken by somebody or put aside. It's more
Okay.
so just in case. Like even
Yeah,
if it's
you
a
can just
stupid
sort of
thing.
have that as like, this is the sword that I wield, and you can hold on to it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll actually just kind of make it. Can I make a deception check and just take it out and be like, sorry, but this is an heirloom. It's just a sword. I show it for a second and put it back closed.
Yeah, okay. We'll have to... We'll do that first, as you guys are getting things acquainted.
I am purposely just keeping everything on me. They can search me if they want, but I'm not gonna hide it off in the mouth because if they're gonna question it, you guys can just ditch me.
I have too many things to try and hide, and they're mostly just trophies.
I
Is
have
what I'll
so
explain it
much
as.
shit. Oh
Yeah,
my
exactly.
God.
So I'm just like, the more we try to hide, the more it looks bad. So I'm just gonna be very open with it.
Actually, I'm gonna use my inspiration to do the sleight of hand again. Okay, that's slightly better.
Okay. Okay, so Mao is hiding her pocket.
Which has basically everything.
Boomcrash is
besides
hiding
my
her
weapons.
blasted unicorn horn and the cultist robe out of the bag of holding.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fine. And
And I'm
Zoom also with
belatedly
Black
playing off
Razor.
the sword as just sentimental stuff to
As-
keep it to hold myself.
As you start taking all your stuff, taking all your weapons off and your bags and handing it to the guards, Zumasu holds out Black Razor to one of the guards and says, "Oh yeah, it's an heirloom," and like flap the what is it? It's like wrapped in cloth, right?
Yeah, I like show it off, take it out of the hilt for a second with the cloth on the hilt, and just like close it again, and just be like, it's just very important for me to hold on to this.
It's sentimental.
All right. The guard just shrugs and nods. That's fine. It's just a sword. Nothing weird about that. Certainly not
Father's sword.
ancient evil or anything. I mean, we got enough of those around here. Don't have to deal with another
Laughing
one.
uncomfortably.
Everyone laughs uncomfortably.
Ha,
For
ha,
a
ha,
second,
ha,
it
ha,
stops.
ha.
Do they know about my Mephistopheles holy symbol?
Oh no!
Well, they
Play
rolled
it off as we're
deception.
merchants.
Okay. They investigate. Let's see. Mao, they don't find the pocket. It was adequately hidden, which is good because you had poison on you.
I did.
Among other things. Okay. Boomcrash was trying to hide the unicorn horn and the cultist robe.
Mhm.
The cultist robe is kind of just like it just looks like a cloak, and it doesn't look particularly unusual.
Mhm.
But the unicorn horn, as they're like patting you down, one of them manages to feel the horn. Hold on, what's that? Feels like a knife. They start reaching for it.
I let them have it. It's just a magical artifact. You see, I have quite a few of them, and I sort of give my staff of Loth like a little bit of a twirl.
Make a persuasion check.
Gosh, with pleasure. Okay. Where are you? No, come on.
Where are you?
Clicking the token, please.
Could I kind of? Never mind. You rolled pretty well. I don't even need to help.
Very well. Just remember, it looks sharp, so cause no trouble with it.
We have We only want a place to rest for the nights until we move on. I promise.
I just gotta be careful with merchants, make sure you're not bringing any contraband.
I
What
understand.
is illegal here anyway? I'm curious.
Oh, well, poison, drugs, and anything being shipped from Allure.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense.
And from
Drugs?
Udon.
Okay.
Good thing I'm hiding the pocket full of Aloran wine. Or
Holy shit.
Galestone wine.
Alright, I don't think that anything that Amon has, from a glance at his inventory, I don't think anything's really,
Okay, so I haven't updated in a while because I don't update the character sheet. So the things that are dubious is Obsidian Steed, and my cult robe, which you said is fine. The Mephistopheles holy symbol, my staff, but my staff is just a stick. And my canopic jars and my bunch of skulls.
Wait, you have jars full of organs?
He
The
does.
canopic jar from
Since when?
from the mummy.
Oh, that was so long ago. You still have those?
Hey, no one drank out of it, so it's still there.
I wonder why we're cursed.
well, they take everybody's bags of holding, and take them into the guard room. And eventually they come back. One of you was carrying a lot of, bodily materials. Care to explain those? I mean, skulls and, the like.
They got in front of me, so I relieved them of their supplies.
You
I'm
killed
gonna-
a merchant because they were in your way.
No,
No,
no. I'm the merchant. These are my guards and my protection. Because of the conflict and everything that's happening, the roads have gotten rather rough. So I wanted to make sure that my goods were well guarded, as well as myself. So
I offer them the rules blessings.
He is our hired cleric, and although his ways are a bit eccentric, all those
he's
parts you
very
found-
effective.
Yeah,
and she
parts
sort
you
of
found
like
are-
pats him on the shoulder, and she's so proud.
People
All
do
those-
not approach when they see skulls.
and those parts of own the ones that do exist are from bandits.
He's
Proven his
It's-
worth.
And he's also he's an excellent deterrent, but he really is quite the sweetheart, I promise you.
His healing is top notch.
I grunt and frown.
Okay, Boom Crash was the first to pipe up. Zim also seemed to be helping in that respect, but I'll say Amon was not helping in that respect. I'll say that Zimasu helps negate your disadvantage, Boom Crash. Make a deception
Okay.
check.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
I rolled a 6. Fuck.
Well,
Hey!
You're not very convincing, but you're just so damn cute.
I know. I'm
They-
so peaked. Look at how cute I am.
the guards look at each other. Well, I suppose it's not a crime. We haven't witnessed anything, and war times are hard. Here you go, we'll get you back your stuff. Give you entrance. Stay
Thank you
safe,
so
and, check in at the inn. Well, you'll see it once you enter the market square.
Thank you so much.
Of
We really
course.
do appreciate it. Do you have any recommendations for an inn? Any directions?
Oh, there's only one inn in the town, so that's take it
Okay.
or leave it.
Okay. Whereabouts are there? Is it down the main road and to the right, or?
It's right out in the open.
Ah, okay.
Thank you.
I guess it's one of those central market kind of places.
I think so. Okay,
It's a
wonderful.
Pretty
Thank
small
you so
town,
much.
right?
Yeah, it's a pretty small town. It's not like Connacht or Relore or New Dawn. It's a very small town.
Okay, fabulous.
We're going to the Prancing Pony right now, whatever the name of that town is.
Fabulous. I did forget. I'm such
Right.
a bad nerd. I forget.
So I thought you were supposed to be the Lord of the Ring nerd. What do you mean you forgot?
Not something River. I remember I used to get them confused with Rivendell.
I don't remember.
Eh.
And also, I wasn't the nerd Leo was. The Lord of the Rings fan Leo was.
I like
That's
that you've
fair.
combined Rivendell with Riverdale.
Yeah.
I hate that combination,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
especially with the new show being just absolutely bonkers.
Hey, it's my guilty pleasure.
Jughead, you must take
It's-
the ring to Mordor.
It's real bad. No.
Actually,
I
if all
haven't
the
even
cast,
watched
he'd be the one to do it.
This is true.
Yeah, sure.
This is
dude.
very true.
I have not watched Riverdale, but I'm familiar with the comics. Anyway,
This show is nothing like the comics.
I'm sure. I just know the characters' names, and that Jughead's the goofy one. Okay, you head into the city, town. It's got Connaughton architecture, which I'll describe as basically like Wat and Dauble kind of buildings, like timber and plaster on the walls, and simple shingles covering the roofs. Everything's got like a gabled house kind of appearance, as opposed to Elore's like Roman towers and like tiled roofs. Instead, it's more wood and plaster than marble and stone. It's built slightly into the trees. There's plenty of trees interspersed inside of this little town. And it's, sort of active for the night. There's a few people, like, just chatting around a fire, like, off a ways from you guys. And you head up to this inn that's called the Grey Rose. Yeah, you open the doors, head inside, and you're met with a comfy little inn. There's just little gray roses painted on shields around the perimeter of the establishment. There's a small tavern in the front with maybe like 2 tables available.
Is there a brooding man in a corner, in a hood, smoking a pipe?
There does not appear to be. Though
I
there
would
is
like
a
to go and
goblin
sit down
named Sam
in a corner.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
And start smoking your pipe.
I don't remember if I still have it. Oh, I do still have it. Yeah. Because I thought I gave it away to someone as a gift. But no, I become that person in the corner with the
Okay,
pipe.
since the brooding corner is open, you manage to head over in that direction to the darkest corner of the chamber, and take out your pipe and start mysteriously puffing smoke with your hood over your like horns, I guess.
Yes.
Your horns are actually pretty small, so I think they just kind of poke your hood up a little bit in the
Yeah.
back.
It'd be like the new Catwoman ears, in a sense. It's like the corners.
Okay.
You mean balaclava? Okay. The innkeeper nods at you all and says, "Welcome. You folks are coming in pretty late. You need a room? We got some
Yes,
places
please.
available. Sure. Not too inexpensive. Just a gold piece for the night."
Okay. 2 rooms, please. And Boom Crash hands over 2 gold pieces.
Sure. You folks eaten anything? We got some nice honeyed hams available, as well. The cook's setting up a cake. There's a celebration tomorrow, so he's been making some cakes, and we might be able to get you fixed up with one of the rejects.
That would be wonderful. We would happily poison test a few cakes for you. And she sort of gives like a wink. Yeah, meals for myself and my companions, please.
All right.
That also includes the one in the corner over there, and I point to the shadowy figure.
I puff out a rabbit and it jumps around because this thing makes animal smoke.
Oh, that's real cute. So 4 meals and some wine. And what would you like soon most? Would you like beer or spirits?
I'll take anything.
Okay,
Spirits
you-
are good. Stronger
You
is better.
order. It's on me. And Boom Crash sort of like toddles off and goes to the corner and it leaves you to. She's not going to order for you. You can order for yourself.
I'm ordering around for the table. The best wine you got, good sir.
Of course.
My employer's paying.
When everything's said and done, the whole thing comes out to about 20 gold pieces for the 4 of you guys.
Okay, done. Oh, it's on Boom Crash.
Sure. It seems that the guy is maybe overcharging things a bit, but I mean, you guys are adventurers.
Yeah, and
It's
also
wartime.
it's wartime, and I feel kind of bad for these people, so I don't mind.
Yeah. He just kind of saw your jeweled sash and decided to charge gold pieces instead of silver.
Yeah,
I was
I
about to
kind
say-
of clocked that.
Was it because of the whole extravagant looking merchant thing?
Yep.
Perhaps.
I
But-
wonder if Nazir has to deal with this all the time.
It's chump change for you all, so
It really is.
you easily give up that stuff. You get some slices of honeyed ham, sourdough bread, and some sharp cheese,
Bread.
spread with homemade mustard.
This is just Chris's.
There's delightful
like,
stouts
trying to feed
available
people.
on tap, and they do have some wine. It appears to be some sort of fine elven wine. Not a Lauren, but somewhere from Connacht. You're not really familiar with the area, but it definitely tastes sweet.
Okay, good.
You guys-
Fermented
Oh.
fruit. Yep.
And
Sorry?
now I'm suspicious, but it's fine.
Look, this
What,
town
you
is
think
fairly
it's-
well established. This isn't a fairy circle.
Okay.
Oh. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I was like, wait, what? Alore's already here selling their wine? Oh no.
It's just how you said sweet, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
They have antifreeze in this area?
They haven't asked for our name yet, so it's fine.
Yeah, nobody really has taken any names. They just
They
give
better
you
not.
what you need.
Bro can just cast antifreeze. It's called protection from the elements.
Nice. Oh, and food and relaxing. I think this is the first time we get to relax for a bit.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
chill.
That's fine.
You
Just
guys-
don't relax. Remember the last time we relaxed on the inn? Someone got attacked.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of like in the middle of my eating, I'm just like, oh, right, boom crash. We got to do that an undetected thing when we get to the room.
Yep. You got it.
I don't think I'm going to be stabbing. It's fine.
No, remember, you didn't kill me. The thing that came through the window did.
Yeah, but it was the one that told me to kill you.
Yeah, but I'm saying I want my window protected.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll take care of you, baby. I promise.
So just stay up. Just
We
keep
could
watch.
sleep in shifts. That is technically doable. It's not like we aren't used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is fine.
Okay,
It's
we'll do the
eminently
sleep shift
doable.
thing. Elena can keep somebody company on one of their shifts.
Mm.
She hops onto Mao's shoulder,
Hmm.
asks for a
Is-
piece of ham.
Ham? She eats ham?
She turns into a bird for a second, and
Okay.
then gives you a shrug.
Usually a rabbit. Oh, right, that's the thing. There's nobody else in this tavern currently with us?
Nobody seems to be up in the tavern
Okay.
tonight. Although there is like noise coming from somewhere. You can hear like music coming from outside.
No, okay.
We are resting in a tavern, and we
Yeah.
are going to ignore the plot hook.
Well,
It's fine.
it could just be like they're just celebrating or just having a normal music thing. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, people were just around a bonfire outside. The
Yeah.
innkeeper did say that there was like a holiday tomorrow or something.
Mm-hmm.
The cake hasn't
How
come out
everybody-
yet though, which is it's been a while. The innkeeper keeps going into the back to like check on it. And eventually you guys are just left by yourselves.
I'm gonna go check on that cake because I'm really hungry.
We have
I
to.
say as I just ate a bunch of ham.
You can't enter a kitchen without washing your hands. Get back here.
Prestidigitation.
You shake your hands, and a little flicker of radiant light singes off any dirt and grime on your hands.
Wow.
I've
Um,
invented antibacterial radiance.
Yeah.
you guys,
go check on
Cleanliness
our
is next
cake.
to godliness?
Exactly.
as Zamasu gets up to go check on the cakes and whatever, he stops at the door and he sees. He stops because he sees a person run past the door, and you hear a shriek coming from outside. Ah! What the hell?
God damn it.
What is that thing? There's tons of them!
It better not be fucking boggles.
I think it's time to check outside, guys. We already paid for the food. Let's just go take a peep real quick. I'm gonna
Sure.
start bolting for the door.
I shove a bunch of other food in my mouth, so I'm just like a chipmunk going to the door.
Take your bets,
Oh, yeah.
cockroaches or rats.
Chris, can we kind of hand wave that Dust Flicker was outside tied up, or was there a stable or something? 'Cause I don't
Yeah,
think
we'll
we've
say there
seen
was
him
a
inside.
stable.
Okay, yeah, because that's kind of awkward. All right.
All right, you open the door and you start looking around. You can see a bunch of townsfolk start hurriedly running away from a scene as a bunch of chickens start like leaping at people, and you can see interspersed among them there's a bunch of townsfolk that appear to be just frozen solid in place, petrified into stone.
God fucking damn it, these
Shit.
are... in character, can I roll a nature check or something? Because I'm pretty sure I know these are I know these are cockatrice, but I want to know if Zoo knows.
Sure, yeah, anybody can make a nature check, or yeah, I'll say nature.
Can I consult Volo's guide and maybe do a
Oh
nature
yeah,
check?
we have the book.
That's true.
We have a fucking book. I keep forgetting about it, so I'm going to. And that's an intelligence check, not a.
Aye.
Okay.
Now, someone is barred to create the Pokédex if we just don't consult it.
Yep.
All right, Boom Crash. With your nature, you do recall a little bit about cockatrice that that Volo had written down. You know that they are known to petrify things with their bite. They're fairly weak. Nobody really knows how they're created, but you know that they're chicken-looking petrifiers. And
Okay.
with that, I think we need to roll for initiative. It's more tonight.
We just need to deal with them at the range. So
Yep.
yeah.
Fly up pot shots with Eldritch Blast. Let's go.
Okay, let's get in. Okay. Okay, Mao. As Zumasu yells this, you are able to readily get up and into action with your alert feat. I'll
I
say
walk
that you
over
and
to the window
Zumasu
and I
are
open
not
it up.
surprised. Okay, you open up the window, and yeah, I'll say that that's fine. You can see out the window, and the cockatrices are over in... Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong pair. Over in this area, if you can't see them. It is a rather large map. I guess
I
I'll
would like to
also
make
note
note-
that this is more a random theme note that I forgot about. The town is built for halflings and humans, so there's a lot of various sized things, and the population is pretty much half and half.
Oh, that's
Okay,
cute.
cute.
Halfling, half and half.
Ha.
Nice.
Also, I make note that I have brought a plate of food with me, and I'm just gonna sit at the window and shoot and eat food.
Okay.
I love it. Okay.
It's a mood.
Potluck
This is
pot
relaxing.
shots.
Yeah.
Potluck pot shots.
You head over to the window, open it up, and take out Cinder Smite. Just kind of munching on some ham, line up an arrow with one of the cockatrices, and that's gonna hit.
Cool. Let's do an assassinate.
They'll assassinate a
the
cockroach.
chicken.
Why?
Because I
Why
can do
not?
it.
Love it.
Because I get paid too much for this.
It has to make a DC Constitution saving throw.
Sure. Yeah,
DC. It's actually 19, not 18.
hold on. Do need to add a few. Nothing. Okay. I mean, it's not gonna live.
Good.
I don't even know why.
Describe how it dies, Mao.
Yeah. How do you want to do this?
I mean, it's going to take 154 damage.
Oh my god.
I know what it can do. You should cook the chicken.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon thing where it just blows into flame and then it's like already cooked chicken.
Cinder Smite.
That's all.
Cinder Smite launches a fiery bolt towards the cockatrice, and in not but a second, it is caught up in a blaze. Its feathers singed off, and the smell of kind of stony chicken fills the area as it dies immediately. There's its hit
Beautiful.
points.
Nice. Well, have fun, everyone.
All right.
I'm not going outside.
Oh, well, that guy was going next. Okay.
Perfect.
As you guys start rushing out, the fun. Okay. As you rush out, you guys hear. Actually, let's make a perception check to see who hears. I'll give Mao advantage.
Everyone's doing perception?
Yeah.
Shit, I need to find my token. Perception. Man, everyone can just see everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn.
You guys hear people shouting from a nearby area. I'll say that it's over here. Drag it. Okay. You hear people. You hear like people screaming, and then you hear like a giggle of like a lot of small like voices.
No.
Yeah. Like almost like insectile little laughs, and then a bunch of the people start running out of this area, and one of them just immediately gets hit by like a purplish beam and falls over dead. One of the halflings, and then a large, hairy, tusked creature emerges.
No.
It brays like a cow. And let's add this Catoblepus to the initiative.
Oh wait, isn't that the thing that?
Yes, it killed Mao.
Oh fuck!
Remember those.
Revenge?
PTSD?
And
God.
you guys perceive, flying away from the scene, a swarm of sprites or
I knew
pixies
it.
or
I
something.
fucking knew it.
They then reconvene over on the rooftop, and they just start watching their handiwork as the Catoblepus starts wreaking havoc. They're going to end their turn. Amon.
Maybe there's some good to New Dawn not allowing magic.
Alright. You know what? So people are petrified, right?
There are some people that are petrified, yes. One person is dead.
Eh. Alright. But you know what? I think we need to. I'm gonna do a rare brutal heroics, and I think I'm gonna barge out of the place and okay. I think I'm gonna do thaumaturgy. I think that's an action, unfortunately. Just hey, I see you over there. Come forth and die. And I think I'm gonna fly over that general direction. That's the extent of my movement, I believe. And I think thaumaturgy is an action, so I think that's the best I can do for now. Let me check.
Okay, I'm going to have you make an intimidation check with your
Yeah.
thaumaturgy.
Yeah.
I'll give you
I'm gonna do something
advantage.
else.
Oh, you're
I'm
going to do something else.
I'm also gonna do spirit weapon
Yeah, that's fine.
and just swipe it at them. But I'll do my intimidation just for those. Okay, intimidation.
Also, are you coming out on your flying carpet?
Yeah, I mean, there's pixies. They're gonna be flying. I better be able to chase them.
Okay, you come out on your flying carpet, and you cause a scythe to rise forth from the ground and surge towards the little creatures, and then with your booming voice, I see you over there, the ground rumbles, and the sprites, they all look at you and immediately are not like, they're taunted by you, basically. You've aggroed them.
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
and...
someone can actually fight back.
Yeah. Okay, you summoned your weapon.
Yep, let me do that. Okay, that doesn't hit. Swipe. The side is not good at hitting a swarm. I should have got a divine fly swatter.
Well, that does swing through the sprites, and it dodges a lot of them. It didn't seem to hit most of them. The creatures seem very resilient to single target like effects. Okay, Amon, you're done. Boom Crash. It is your turn.
Okey-dokey.
Oh yeah, and I'm at
I-
like 10 feet of height. Let's just leave it at that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And do I remember the details of the Catoblepus?
Yeah, most of you do. Mal complains about it almost daily.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
She
I
mumbles in her
really,
sleep.
yeah. Do I? Okay. What's the range on this? Of course, I didn't write it down. Amon, do you remember the range on banishment?
Banishment's like 60 feet or something like that.
Okay. I have to get a little bit closer, but. And also maintaining some height, but I'm going to cast Banishment on the thingamajigget.
Okay. I will also have you make a Arcana check before this
Okay.
happens.
Okay, thank you.
Head out and catch a
Please.
glimpse of the creature.
Okay. Intelligence.
Okay. The Catoblepus looks slightly different from the one that attacked you guys. This one seems to be white with like black spots all over it. You suspect that it might have used to have been a cow before it was polymorphed into this creature.
Okay, so maybe a Dispel would be more effective? Is that what my Arcana check is leading me
You're
to
saying
believe?
that it might do that. It might work.
Okay. So, Dispel rather than Banishment.
Okay.
Sure.
You attempt to dispel the effect. I'm gonna have you make basically another. Hold on. It's charisma or intelligence, I believe.
Cast a spell using a spell slot at 4th level or higher.
Oh, unless you're
I'll
doing
just-
it with a warlock slot.
Yeah, I'll just do it with a Warlock slot. These things are fucking dangerous.
Okay. As the creature starts like filling the area with its stench and rushing towards another commoner, it suddenly transforms into a cow. And it returns back to normal.
So it's a Catoblepus?
It's just a cow.
It's just a cow.
Don't have a cow, man.
It's a Catoblepus. Okay, sorry, I was trying to pun. But,
No, it
I did my
it was
thing.
great. I just don't like it.
okay. It's only funny when you do it, I see.
It was.
I can dish it
already
out, I
kind
just
of a
can't take
cow
it.
thing.
Okay, so that was my doohickey. I helped.
All right.
Good job.
One of the
Yay.
cockatrices. Ooh, they don't have necessarily good movement. Oh, they have okay movement. That's fine. Come on, close, please. Okay. You can just barely make it to Amon. This guy soars up towards the magical thread up here, under the apparent, like, direction of some sort of magical force. You can see its eyes glowing as this chicken-like creature rushes towards you and tries to take a bite. Does a 16 hit you? I don't think it does.
Nope.
Okay, it rushes. It swipes with its its beak, dripping with some sort of gross ichor. But you manage to swat the thing away before it can do any real damage. Another one is going to similarly fly towards you and take a bite. An 8 also does not hit. Another cockatrice. Wow, Amon really is the only person in range. Besides the commoners.
aggro.
And it's gonna try and bite. A 10 misses. Zumasu, it is your turn.
Where's the actual door to
I'll
get
say
out?
the door is right here.
Okay, so I can't just run out. Let me just.
And I'll say Dust Flicker is in the stable next to you guys.
I'm gonna first go out. I'm gonna yell to Dust Flicker and have him respond like, "You okay in there?"
I'm okay for
To see if
now.
he's okay. Okay. I'm gonna protect the people real quick.
Do you need me?
If you can get yourself out of the stables, yeah. So, can he unhook himself? He's intelligent.
He
Okay.
comes out.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Just Flicker, just try to usher people away to safety. I'll deal with this.
Of course,
I'm
master.
I'm just gonna shoot this thing with my Eldritch Blast. Did I ever get a button for it? No, I didn't. I have to open up my character sheet real quick.
Dust Flicker starts aiding the nearby commoners to safety, picking them up, dragging them away.
Oh, it didn't do enough. Huh. Clicking on it for... Let me see if it's because...
You might just want to do it from this part.
Yeah. Okay. From the sheet, like the inventory sheet, right?
Yeah, from the weapon names. God, it's so long. You have like 4 green flame blades in there, 3 hunter's marks. You gotta clean that up, dude.
Okay, so I'll just focus fire one until it's dead, and then move on to the next one.
Okay, which
Closest
one?
one.
Okay,
That one first.
that one. Yeah, all of these are gonna hit.
Okay.
That's gonna
It's
be
just the force damage.
just the force damage, then that's gonna be 6, then 14, then 9. 9 will kill it, and then you can move on to the next one. This one?
Yep.
Okay, this one takes 14. Right, one of the cockatrices falls out of the sky, plops onto the ground. You can see as it falls down to the ground that it transforms into a normal chicken, just a plump hen on the ground, now scarred with the singes of radiance around it.
I can move just a few more feet. Okay, I'm done.
Alright. Next. Mao hears a kind of giggle, and so does Boomcrash and Amon, coming from the inn where you guys are, and a sprite swarm just kind of flies out of the chimney and off to safety.
Oh, great.
Mao, you
Great.
hear yelling coming from the kitchen, and a blast of an explosion as the innkeeper flies out, and then the cook runs out into the street. Help! Help! It's come alive! Help! And then the entire side of the inn blows off, and Boomcrash, a gigantic, massive frosting and cake, just starts to rise out of the sides of this establishment as a cake colossus forms behind you. That's the initiative.
Oh, so Dynamax.
great.
Oh, Cremmy. Cute.
All right.
That sounds about right.
Next.
Zumasi, your cake's ready.
Oh God.
Should have checked on the cake, bro. Another sprite swarm reveals itself, and it's gonna fly towards Zumasu. It starts inhabiting your space. Let's see what they can do. They're gonna make 5 attacks with their... Actually, is it 5 attacks? What did I say? Oh, no, they're gonna make 15 attacks, sorry.
Oh my god. Right, because swarm.
Sorry, I'm just checking my sheet because it's weird that that's not working the way it should.
I'm gonna try and do this the most efficient way that I can. Alright, I believe... What is your AC, Sumasu?
20... Sorry, 20 I believe, because I'm wearing the resistance armor, not the high AC one.
Okay, if it's 20,
22.
then... 22? Then a 16 hits you. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them were above 16, so you take 5 damage.
Cool.
Also, I'm gonna need you to make 5. Constitution saves. Oh no, it's poison, so it actually doesn't do anything to you.
Yay.
All right. Yeah, you feel a whole bunch of like pins and needles start attacking your body as they like start shooting little longbows and slashing you with little swords. You feel like a little numbness, but otherwise you're fine for now. The last cockatrice is gonna head towards Zumasu and make its own attack. 16 doesn't hit you. Mao, it is your turn.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put my bow away and scramble up and try and climb onto this cake colossus. Cut myself a piece.
Oh my god.
There's only one way to defeat this, Mao says.
I proceed to climb the cake colossus.
Okie doke. I'm gonna have you make a athletics check. It's going to be opposed to its own.
Strength. I hate strength. Huh. I mean, it's not bad though.
It's not bad, but it doesn't succeed.
No.
As you try to climb up the creature, it tosses you to the ground in a massive frosting. You're fine for now, but you can't attempt that again this turn. I'll say that that just took your movement, not your action.
I hack at its what I think are ankles.
Okay, you start swiping at it. Okay.
The 16 hit?
See, that does hit. It's fairly easy to hit. It's mostly hit points.
Well, then
Boom Crash is technically adjacent to it, so you can sneak attack.
I don't know why there's acid on there. It shouldn't be, but it's 11 slashing and then 1 necrotic.
Did you get a bonus amount of acid enchanted onto the thing from
Sounds
Famladan?
familiar. Yeah.
Because I know Zumasu was trying to get his armor enchanted.
I think you got at least one bonus to it, didn't you?
Yeah, I
It
think
was
that's
either acid or cold.
yeah, that's definitely there.
Alright, cool. So 6 acid damage, so that's 17 damage.
And you can also apply sneak attack, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
He was trying to be subtle.
He was too sneaky about it.
I mean, I did say you could apply sneak attack because Boom Crash is adjacent.
I didn't hear.
Okay. You swipe at its legs, and little chunks of cake start flying about. It seems to be making a big amount of headway through. There's a unpleasant smell as the acid starts eating away at its sugary appendage. Anything else for your turn?
Into crumb cake. I guess I'll just move back into the house.
Okay. Are you using an action to disengage?
Yeah, I can use a bonus action to disengage.
Okay. You back away into the house. You can technically move. You technically didn't leave its space. Its range.
Okay.
Actually, you did leave the range of one of its attacks, so disengage did help, as it tried to stomp on you as you left.
Okay.
Okay. The other sprite swarm seems angered that its little Cataplepus prank didn't go off as planned, and it's going to... It also has 40 feet. Let's see. We can make it to Boom Crash. Why not? You're the one that dispelled it after all. It enters Boom Crash's space, and it's gonna make a few attacks. What's your AC?
Currently 15.
Okay, so it needs a 9 or higher to hit you.
I'm gonna cast shield.
That's fair. As soon as one starts attacking you, you put up your shield that starts instinctively moving into the line of sight of these things. So now it needs a 14, no. Yeah, 14 or higher to hit you.
That's still
2,
plenty
3,
and a crit.
6. That's 6 damage. You take 6 damage.
Okay, then.
And then I need 6 Constitution saves.
Okay. I'll do that. So come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, one of them was below 10. You become poisoned for 1 minute, and you start to feel drowsy. You start to feel like if you if you got a 5 or lower on this check, that you might have fallen asleep.
Noted. Okay.
Just, for reference. There's the poison token. Okay. Amon, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna escalate this. I'm gonna make this fight into a fuster cluck. I'm gonna summon, I'm gonna turn it into Summon Undead Horde.
Oh my god, yes.
Here it comes. As usual,
Okay.
I have still not done this.
Okay,
So we will summon a bunch of... well, wait, what type of monster are you summoning?
let's go with spirits. Since these are flying, let's go with spirits.
Okay.
Uh,
Give you
six,
some ghosts, then.
6 spookies.
6 spooks, please.
How
Just-
much health do they have each?
Let me just double check.
Like 20?
It's based on my casting at 3rd level. So hit points 30. Yeah, 30.
Okay. Then we'll copy this one instead. Nope. There we go. Okay. They arise.
Okay, and I just wanted to double check on how I command them. Okay, verbal action does not require. Okay. Destroy the sprites is what I'm going to command the ghost to do. And then I think I'm going to move my weapon. Shit. That's all I can do in terms of movement. But yeah, I'm going to tell the ghost to attack the sprites.
Alright. Do they act immediately after you? Is that how that works?
I believe so. Let me just double check. Shares my initiative, but immediately after mine. So yes.
I'll add them to the initiative.
I need to check their attack stats. Attack set, go spell attack modifier to hit. So it's my spell attack. Yep. Just move them closer to whichever sprites are visible to them. They start hacking away.
I'll just split it evenly.
Okay, so 3 for the one next to Boom Crash.
Okay.
So, do any of them hit?
I believe all of them hit.
Okay, 1d8 plus 3. Right. So, let me get to here. 1d8. So, alright, those are the damages for the sprite attacking Boom Crash.
It's like 27.
Alright.
What type of damage is it?
It says necrotic.
Okay, then that's gonna deal full damage to the creatures as the spirits pass through the little sprites. They seem to be like singeing a few of them, like with single passes of their hands.
Okay, also they need to make all of them need to they need to make a wisdom save for each of the spirits that attack them.
What is this gonna do?
Frighten them.
They're immune to the frightened condition because they're a swarm.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna do the one next to Zumasu. I'll do those.
That dang staff is mighty powerful.
Yep.
I loves it.
Okay, I send those hits, so I'm gonna roll them.
Sure.
This is why we love Death Daddy.
Okay, that's 15, 19 damage.
Okay. And that is it for the ghosts.
Okay, these sprites seem very damaged. These ones seem not quite as damaged. There's only a few sprites remaining in the sprite swarm surrounding Boom Crash. Right, Boom Crash, it is your turn. You're surrounded by spirits and sprites alike.
I hate it.
Oh, and there's also the cake.
Yeah, the fucking cake.
I It's funny how you're like, oh man, this sounds sweet. Wait, what? Huh, fairies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't fool you.
So if I take a 5-foot step this way, would I invoke an attack of opportunity from the swarm?
Yep, because you're moving out of their space, which is 0.
Gross. I hate it. Okay. Nope. Not gonna do that.
Can you do a melee attack?
Let's see what I got.
Do you have any cantrips or do you have like Thunder Wave or whatever that can like blast them away from you?
Yeah, but it would affect my own square, and I don't really have Thunder Wave. Hold on.
Do you have like Dimension Door or anything? Because can't you do that in the cantrip
Oh yeah,
with the bonus action?
You can do Misty Step and
Yeah.
a cantrip.
I could Misty Step.
Misty Step. and
Okay.
cantrip.
So Misty Step. Let's do. Thank you.
Yeah, do what you want to do. I was
Okay.
gonna say teleport next to my weapon, but
Oh, that's a good idea. That I
that
can
way
do.
if it comes towards you, then I can just command it to just snip snap.
Right.
Snip, snip. Okay.
The sprites
we love
collapse
that.
inward as you fade into the shadows and reappear near Mon's weapon.
Okay. And Firebolt is not an AoE. I don't really have AoE. So I'm just gonna unload all the Eldritch Blast on the Cake Colossus, because that's a scary thing.
No, you're gonna crash into the building. Oh, the building's already ruined because it burst into the
They
kitchen.
overcharged us, so fuck them.
I got my 5 gold pieces. Oh shit! Okay. All of those are going to hit the Colossus. It starts stumbling. I'll say that it only moves like 5 feet, crushing some of the rooms that you might have been staying in for the night, as the wood kind of like impresses inside of its cakey form, deforming it slightly. It's gonna take some damage. That's 27, and then 14. 14. Alright, the creature's looking hard. Okay, anything else? Oh, hold on. Those have disadvantage because of the poison. So, let me check.
Oh.
One of them didn't hit. It was the 11.
Okay.
Just has 11 more hit points. Alright.
I feel sorry for Mao. She's crashing into. She's on this thing. She's been carried with it.
I just
Oh.
see it falling, and I'm like, oh shit! No!
It appears to be its turn. Let's see. Did I give this dang thing? Alright, well, first it regenerates slightly.
Oh no, the dough is rising.
The frosting starts to seal up some of its wounds, and the cake seems to replenish itself of its own accord. The creature is going to make some melee attacks. It's going to swing first at Amon with its frosted fist.
Oh, it is 10. I guess it makes sense. It's at 10 feet reach.
Yep, 24 is presumably going to hit you for 13 damage. Then you become stuck to the creature.
Okay, am I being like pulled out of my carpet yet again?
Yep.
Yep. But this time it's comical. Your head's like stuck in the frosting. Your feet are sticking out.
Yeah, I'll say that you're like maybe pushed like towards it as the
Okay.
carpet is left flying in the air. It's forced movement, so the cockatrices don't do anything.
Okay, I'm gonna do concentration because the ghost could poof. What's the damage? 13 damage. Okay, so I made it regardless.
And then it's going to stomp at Mao now that it's been pushed in a bit.
Oh, uncanny dodge.
Does anybody want to do anything about this critical hit?
I could do it. I'm gonna munch and say no. Drop. Drop. So regular hit.
It becomes a
the
normal
cake
hit
is like-
from your Nerul's ability. Okay, Mao, you take 23 bludgeoning damage, and if you're uncanny dodging, that's going to be 12 damage. And then I'm going to have you make a strength save.
As you become embedded in.
Okay, you are knocked prone. You are left in a pile of frosting and cake on the ground. Mouth filled with frosting. Two, like, frosting flowers on your eyes.
How much damage did I take, by the way?
You took 12 because you uncanny dodged, you said.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, it can still make another attack. It's gonna slam its other fist into Amon and do another fist attack. 17, I don't think hits you.
No, it does not.
Okay. You manage to embed yourself a little bit deeper and deaden the blow slightly. And the Colossus is going to move a bit. It's gonna get out here. It does move out of range of this thing. Mao is prone, so she can't really do anything about it. So one of the undead can attack it. Can they take reactions? I actually don't know.
They should be able to. Like, nothing that says they can't.
Okay, that's fine then. I didn't know if they like were under strict. They only act per the spell.
No, nothing like that. It's not the robot from the let's see, spell. Oh yeah, it's my spell attack. So okay, there's my token. How many of them make the attack? Just one?
Just one. Natural 20!
Okay. So 11. 11 will be the max damage.
Alright. Alright. It steps out into the open area, and you can see it like regenerating as it steps out. I'm gonna have Boom Crash and Amon. I guess Zumasu's a little distracted. I'm gonna have both of Amon and Boom Crash make Arcana checks as the cockatrices make their move.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
I got near nat 20. Jesus, what? The dice are really coin flippy this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom Crash. As the Cake Colossus is starting to replenish its frosting, you can see its candles that are stuck on its head start to flare with like arcane magic. You think that its conjuration is controlled by those candles.
Oh, good to know. I communicate this to everybody else.
The candles!
Blow out the candles!
One of the cockatrices is going to fly down to this commoner and attack them. Ah! Let's see. Let's make a saving throw for them. Okay, yeah, they've been turned to stone.
Great.
And then the cockatrice is going to fly up towards Zumasu. Maybe cause some more chaos.
Hey, go away.
This one is going to fly down to this commoner, do the same thing. That's a natural 20. I'll just say that they're petrified. They weren't expecting it. Right next to the cook. Where's the... There it is. Then it's gonna fly onto the cook and start, like, grappling with the guy as he tries to tear the chicken off of his face. Get off of me, you damn Egypt! And this guy's dead. Zumasu, it is finally your turn.
Okay, now I'm on. So there's a swarm on top of me, and then there's these cockatrices right here.
Yes. And there's ghosts around you, but those are friendly.
The ghosts are friendly, and I can just kind of awkwardly wave to them. Dust Flicker's helping out people. Elena's probably just helping out people because this isn't great. I need to get out of the swarm. Do I have Misty? No, I think I have just Dimension Door. Dimension Door, I believe, is an action.
No, Dimension. Yeah, Dimension Door is an action.
Yeah. I'm a green flame blade this swarm. So, let me. My character sheet is not opening. Let me just do the attack first, and then I'll do the. So let's see if this.
Your hammer alights with green flame as you swing it around towards these creatures. It wildly flails about, but it does manage to hit a few of them. And
Basically, it does splash damage. That's why I used it here. But
Okay.
I need to have I have to pull up the spell to tell you the details, and I'm reloading my sheet real quick here.
be able to fit it. Spells. Green flame blade. Okay, you're level 17, so it deals 3d8 and 3d8 damage. Wow, that's good.
As well as my weapon damage to the main target.
Yeah, jeez. That's gonna be a lot of frickin' damage. That's gonna be 12, and then that's 26, the base damage, and then you basically roll 6 d8s.
Yep. Okay.
I'm doing
So
it for
basically-
you if you need to.
Yeah, the first part hits the main. Okay, so the first target gets the regular weapon damage. So the swarm was the main target. So far they got the 20, 25. They got 26 damage from regular hit of
Yep.
enchanted weapon.
I'll say that is halved.
Okay,
I'll
and
say
then they get
all
the
this
12
damage
damage
is halved
from.
pretty much, but it'll take the secondary damages if there's a creature next to it.
Okay.
Which is plenty enough to finally defeat the swarm. As you swing your hammer wildly about, most of the sprites are consumed in green fire until they are no more.
You
They
hear
fall apart.
an echo of a million little tiny screams.
Yeah, this is pretty much front load a weapon to do slightly more damage to one target, or slightly more damage to another target in some cases. It's weird. I thought it was appropriate here. And now I can move again,
Yeah.
except the cockatrice get attack of opportunities. They bite hurt. Okay, I'm gonna stay where I am. At least I don't have a swarm on me.
Okay. And in that case, Dusk Flicker is going to over. I guess there aren't too many people. Well, there is one person. Dusk Flicker is going to rush towards this person and try and attack the cockatrice nearby, because that's what they were told to do.
Yeah.
And that's going to hit the cockatrice for 13 damage. It can't really do anything about the dude, so he's just going to over here and keep engaged with the thing. Okay, it's another Sprite Swarm's turn. This swarm is going to pile in through the window and start going after this floored tiefling. Yeah.
This entire session is very comical and painful at the same time.
Wow, what's your AC?
20.
Okay, they need a, leave a 14 to hit. 20 plus 6. Okay, that's 1, 2, 5, 6 hits. You take 6 damage.
Oh.
And then you're gonna need 6 con saves. Need to beat 10. Well, you need to beat 5 as well. Okay,
No,
Very
just
comical.
no, just a no.
I'll put them next to you, but we'll assume that they're in your space. You manage to stay awake and stave off the poison from their little tiny weapons.
I just imagine them biting like the tooth fairies from like Hellboy.
Get over here, you little freak!
Ugh!
Sorry,
That's scary.
I tried.
Oh no.
Alright, they're done. This cockatrice is gonna attack Zumasu. It is flanking this time. Okay,
Still
18
misses.
doesn't hit. Mao, it is your turn. You are prone and surrounded by fairies.
So just like when I visit. No, I'm joking.
I think I'm just gonna fireball myself. I'm going to grab some beads and I'm gonna like throw them on the ground like they're.
I'll survive
my
this, but you
gosh.
won't.
Wild card.
I'm just gonna use one though, because I'm like, yes, boom.
Okay,
Oh my
make a
God.
dexterity save, Mao. I'll say that you really can't evade this.
I'm kind of on the ground.
You're on the ground and deliberately doing it on yourself.
Yeah.
So I'll say that you can still take
Okay.
half damage because of your uncanny dodge.
You're losing your evasion, but you still can roll to evade.
Okay, I'll say that you do take
And
half
your
damage
fire
from this.
resistance.
So
and
roll
stuff.
8d6s. This does kill all the sprites. This is mostly to see how much damage you take to delete them.
This inn is ruined forever.
I'll survive this, but you won't. The innkeeper looks up from falling on the ground and says, "What are you? No, no, no!" You take 11 fire damage as the swarm is eradicated and the inn is now on fire.
God damn it!
Amazing. We did great, guys.
I
We
just
did
wanna,
it,
like,
Patrick! We saved the city!
I'm gonna walk out of the fire, just like, I did it. I got the little bastards. Also, the
You did
inn's on
great,
fire.
I know fire works on these guys, but now we owe that poor innkeeper.
Sure, they were little shits. I had to get rid of them.
I'll say that the innkeeper is dead.
Oh, fucking A.
Here he is.
Casualties.
Oh no.
Oh dear. I mean, there's not much space for him to not be in the way, and half damage is not going to help. It's the dead icon.
I'll
I'll put the
try-
bleeding out icon.
I'll try to assist him and pull him out during the next turn, but I can't really do that this turn because I don't think I have any actions.
Sure. This Sprite Swarm's turn. This one's going to fly over to Boom Crash, since that worked fairly well last time.
Mhm.
There's only a few more sprites left, so they're only going to attack 5 times instead of 15.
Okay. I'll tank it. It's fine.
Okay, I think what was your AC? 16?
15.
15.
15.
Okay, then a
Yep.
9 or higher will hit you, so this is 4 hits.
4 hits. Okay.
Okay, you take 4
Where
damage, and then you need 4 con
are you?
saves.
Okay, there you are. Sorry, the sprite swarm was on top, so I didn't see.
I'll move them.
2, 3, 4. Do I fall asleep?
No, you don't. If you get a 5 or lower, then you fall asleep. That's why there's so many attacks and why they each do 1 damage.
I was flirting with it. Okay, so 4 damage, so I'm... Wow. Ow.
Come on, it's your turn. You are still
Alright.
grappled in the frosting.
I'm fine with that. So I'm going to use my bonus action to cause the site to attack Sprite Swarm.
Okay, that does hit them, and it manages to avoid Boom Crash.
So +5, so that's 7.
7 halved is 4 damage, which is enough to do them in. The last of the fairies are swept up in necrotic damage.
Alright, in that case, I'm going to use my Keep of Mountain back to teleport out of the grapple onto my carpet.
Okay, the carpet, which was just hovering in midair about 10 feet off the ground, is readily able to be receiving your feet.
Okay, and then I know I'm probably going to draw an attack opportunity, but I think I'm going to rise 60 feet up, so 70 feet in the air.
Okay.
And that's probably going to draw an attack opportunity unless this thing took it already.
Yeah, it does. Oh, did it? No, it moved since then. Yeah, it moved since then. Okay, so it's going to try and attack you. Oh my god. Pending any reactions, it's going to hit you and grapple you again.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, it's automatic quick grapple, huh? Okay, cool.
I'll say that you only make it 50 feet off the ground, which I'll say is like the height of its arms. And you take 14 bludgeoning damage. You are stuck once again in the frost. The undead's turns. They don't really have too many sprites left to attack. In fact, there are no sprites left to attack.
Oh, are they all dead?
Yep. But their creations seem to be persisting.
Nah. I mean, the order I would have given is just to destroy the cockatrice.
Okay, sure. Then they go after them.
Okay, so the one at the bottom, let me do 3.
Yeah, all 3 hit.
Okay, let's see.
The cook, who is being attacked by a chicken, is suddenly harassed by 3 spectral ghosts with skeletal visages on their shrieking faces. They fly towards him and pass through the cockatrice several times, eventually leading it to just collapse in a dead heap on the ground. This is a chicken you do not want to eat.
It's a Christmas miracle. It's about a ghost of 3.
3 ghosts of
Nice.
Nerul past.
Yeah. Okay, let me do. How many more?
There's 3
okay,
left. Two can attack this one, or 2 can attack this one, because this guy's between both of them.
Okay, I'm gonna attack the one that's sandwiched right there.
Okay. That's a hit.
Okay, I think there's a little bit of a lag.
That's a hit.
Yeah, I've noticed a tiny bit of lag on my side too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, 18 total damage. Creature is not dead, but it has been wounded with its necrotic damage. One last dude.
Alright. Oh, okay, one last dude.
Another hit.
Plus 3. So
Yep,
that's going
so
to
it's
be
9.
9.
This one is still clucking as well. Boom Crash, it is your turn. You are still weakened a bit from the poison.
Okay. Okay, I have a question about blowing out the candles.
Sure.
Prestidigitation can create a puff of wind, but would Thunder Wave be more effective because of the size of the creature?
They are spread out over the top of its form. Prestidigitation could probably get rid of a few of the candles.
I'm trying to figure out which one of my spells would most effectively emulate.
You don't have a gust of wind?
I don't have Gust of Wind.
The real question is,
I would
are
say-
these relighting candles?
We'll have to see.
Uh.
I'll let you do Thunder Wave to do it, and it'll still damage it at the same time. Because I have a mechanic for if you try to put out the candles, you basically are able to put out a D4 plus 3 of them at once.
Okay.
Assuming you're on top of it and trying to blow them out.
Okay, so I'm going to fly up so I'm level with them, and I'm going to cast Thunder Wave to try and blow out the candle. So it's going to be...
Should I put you at 50 feet up with them?
So that's going to be... I'll do it at a level 3. Why not? I haven't used any of those slots yet today.
Constitution save.
So, let's see. I'll get the dice ready.
Okay, it failed.
1, 2. That's 4 d8. So
Okay, it takes 11 thunder damage as little bits of white frosting start plopping onto the ground. And then it's gonna let you blow out 7 of its candles, which is all of its candles. All of its candles extinguish, and you can see that the frosting isn't replenishing itself while the candles are out.
okay. I communicate that. Keep the candles out, and it won't be able to re-heal. So, kill it. Take it down now.
Okay. On its turn, it just kind of like looks around, just looking at its hands like, oh no, and then it just opens up a like mouth filled with like strawberry jam from in between its cake layers, frosting like plopping onto the ground as it opens its mouth wide, and it lets out a bestial roar. And then its candles relight themselves.
There it is. Yep.
And as it does this action, a whole bunch of frosting bursts up into the sky and falls down in a 20-foot tall, 40-foot radius cylinder centered on a point it chooses. It's going to just kind of do it all around itself. Its candles seem to be safe from the frosting, but the rest of you guys are not. Okay. Thankfully, most of you guys are flying, so this doesn't actually do much. But the nature of Amon's flight might come into play. Oh, actually, Amon's grappled. How about that? Icon. Okay. Amon specifically will need to make a concentration check, as if you were rolling to concentrate on the spell.
I mean, I am concentrating on the spell for the ghost, so.
Yeah. Okay, you succeed, but the like frosting falling all over the place causes you to need to concentrate a bit more. And Mao, since you are on the ground, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Zumos is on the ground as well, actually.
I'm close enough to it.
Yep. It's going to center it, like, in this area.
So does Dustflicker need to make one too?
Yes. Okay. Zumasu... Zumasu and the Pegasus.
Pegasus got a 16, or got a 17?
Oh, okay. 17 just barely makes it. The DC was 17.
Whoa, good horse.
Okay. So Zumasu, you are the only one that is knocked prone, and this entire area becomes difficult terrain.
Okay. This run's not so bad. I'll just get hit by chickens.
Right. And with that... Okay, it can make one attack as part of this. It's going to swing Amon around and slam its fist into the ground. And it splorches out frosting everywhere and deals 21 bludgeoning damage to Amon.
Oof.
And he's on the ground now.
Actually, it is half a damage, right?
If it's higher than 10, so it's only 11.
Okay, so
Well, 12, I
s-
guess, but it's
yeah, I
still
still
success.
maintain it. Yeah.
Okay. And with its turn finally ended, this cockatrice is going to flap up into the air and down onto Zumasu. This one is also going to dogpile onto
Wait, did I
Zumasu.
take damage or I just got knocked prone?
No, you just got knocked prone. It's just
Okay.
like a sleet storm kind of spell.
Okay.
Uh,
Even with the disadvantage I got, they not getting me.
yeah, they aren't able to get you. They aren't able to penetrate your armor as they're pecking at the ground like shooting for popcorn.
I literally just have the shield over my face. I'm just like, ah, get away.
I think this cockatrice went out of turn by accident, but Zumasu, it's your turn.
So half movement to get up on my feet, and then I'm gonna shoot my Eldritch Blast, not all of them. Cause how many are left?
There's two
One.
cockatrices.
Yeah. So first I'll target the one that's almost dead.
Okay.
let's
Remember, you have
bring up-
disadvantage since they're in 5 feet of you.
Aw.
You
Yeah, I'll
spend half
do it
your
anyway.
movement to get up as well.
Yeah. Did it click?
It's not going through for me.
Might just be
This
slow.
from the spell page. It's weird from the weapons page.
There it is.
Okay.
13 hit.
Let me check. That does.
Okay. Does it die?
Yeah, that one. The one that was already
Yay.
weak is low enough to die.
Okay. That doesn't. Got
Does
two.
not hit. Also, I'm now realizing you cannot miss them except on a natural one, so... Oh, it's
Which-
a shame you have disadvantage.
Oh no!
One more attack.
The chicken runs under my legs. Okay, this one hits.
It was a 2, I just want to note that.
Mm.
Took 9 damage.
Okay, 9 was its hit points, so it is just barely destroyed. As you're like slipping and sliding on the frosting, getting to your feet, you're like blasting radiance out. Get back here! The last one finally gets the thing, and it dies.
Let's see. So I only have 15 feet of movement left here. I'm get up to Amon so you can have my bonus aura.
Remember, it's difficult terrain.
Okay, I'm about here then.
Okay, you're getting cover from a petrified woman.
Amon's technically out of my range. God damn it. Okay, actually, yeah, that doesn't. I don't think that counts technically, right? Or how did DM feel about that?
He's in range for now.
Okay. And Dust Flicker is gonna. Is there any bystanders left he can try and save now that the cockroaches are dead?
He can try and save this one.
Yeah, he'll try and save that one. So he's gonna grab him by the tusk of his neck and just kind of like take him over.
Sure. Dust Flicker flies away with the commoner and easily gets out of the difficult terrain. Oh, it's like one of them fairy tales, the cook says as he's flown off and out of harm's way. Now, it's your turn.
I'll grab this dude and drag him out.
Alright, well, he's still bleeding out. Do you want to do anything about that?
Sure, can I drag him a little bit further? Because house is on fire. Yeah, that's better. Away from the house thing. Fucking use a healing gem on him.
Okay, you slap a healing gem onto his forehead, and he is no longer dying.
I just chuck it at him, just like, fuck off.
Sansuine!
Yeah. Alright, so...
Thank you. I don't know.
Nope.
Wait, you were the one that...
Don't make me kick you. I run away.
Don't hurt me.
So item interaction, movement. Let me actually check movement real quick.
Yeah, the gem is a bonus action for the healing gem.
Okay. So then I can still shoot.
Alright, that's gonna hit. Also, keep in mind well, only some of it was difficult terrain since I targeted it over here. So I think you're still fine.
I think I was assuming I was moving through the house and pulling him out, and that's why I tried
yeah, that's
to
also
avoid.
fine. There was a roof over your head. Okay,
Yeah,
well, that's gonna hit the creature for, it's like 12 damage for now.
7, 5, yeah, 12.
Anything else you want to apply to that, with Amon being within 5 feet of it?
Oh, hi! Oh, yeah.
It takes an extra 28 damage. Anything else?
Nope.
Amon, you are grappled and pounded into the dust as it lifts its cakey hand. You are like stuck to the frosting as it raises you up into the air.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to tell the commander ghost to blow out the candles. I'm going to use my bonus action to attack with my spear weapon onto the Colossus. Okay.
Hit.
+5, so 10.
Spins towards the creature and sloughs off a chunk of cake.
All
I'd
right.
say near perfect slice.
And I think I'm going to do Toll the Dead. I don't know if this thing is alive, but I'm going to try it.
Does it work on constructs? I guess
It
it
is.
would have to be immune to the necrotic damage, theoretically, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll say that it definitely still works. Let's do some save. Person selected? Yes, I do. Oh, and it beat the save.
Okay, well, it's got cake in his ear.
Okay, so at the end of your turn, the creatures go.
Yep. They all start trying to get rid of the candle. That's my directive toward them.
This guy's slightly off. Another one that I'm not seeing. Yes, there is. Alright. They start heading for the candles, and they can fly, so they just make it up there easily enough. Each one can use their action. Let's do... Okay, they blew out 4 of the candles. And they blew out 5 of the candles. All the candles are out. And only 2 of them wasted their actions.
Well, that's what I told them to do, so they just had to just sit there.
Okay, they keep blowing out the candles. They, like, pass their spiritual forms through them and continue to keep them unlit. Boomcrash, it is your turn.
Okie dokie, artichoke. Do I have anything interesting that I can do for this thing?
Polymorph into a giant chicken and start eating it.
Maybe, actually. I don't want to go looking into the rules of polymorph right now. Like, that would just take too long, and let's just get this done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you can turn into a T-Rex with polymorph.
I could turn into a T-Rex with polymorph, but don't you have to have seen it before?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have I seen a
Yeah.
T-Rex?
Oh, wait, no, that's wild shape, I think. For polymorph, you just need to know it exists.
Huh.
Oh, it'd be funny if you transform into T-Rex, but you just turn into a skeleton and just die. It's like, that's the only T-Rex I know.
That would be hilarious. I would become Sue, but it also would be hilarious because birds are dinos, and that would be really funny. So, does Boomcrash know what a T-Rex is? Fuck it, let's go.
You got a kaiju fight here?
Yes.
A kaiju fight?
Yeah.
Good one. Alright, you cast polymorph on yourself, I suppose.
Yep, let's go. Fuck it, why not?
Go. And let's try and give you some control of this. Let's say this for now. Okay. Can you control that?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Then you transform into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's like a dark scaling pattern to it, and little flecks of light where its eyes should be. And its face is a bit more pointy than it normally would be, and there's a bit of a golden crack in the front of it. But it's otherwise a passable Tyrannosaurus Rex. Unfortunately, I think that's your turn.
Yeah.
You also go bananas, because you have the intelligence of a Tyrannosaurus Rex right now.
Okay, that's fine. There's food in front of me. That's great.
You got a meat shield of HP to deal with. You're doing fine.
Alright, the cake. Let's see if it recharges its ability to get its health back. Give it a normal charge.
Can't believe I have to put you down after this.
What does that mean?
Well, you're a T-Rex. Like, we can't just let you roam around. We gotta stop you.
It's
gonna take me a while to eat this thing. It'll be fine.
It's gonna swing its fist with a Mon into the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Both of you are going to take damage from this. Okay, a 19 I think hits the T-Rex. Yeah, T-Rexes are fairly easy to hit. So, T-Rex takes 23. Amon, you also take 23.
Oh yeah, I gotta maintain concentration.
Yes, DC 12.
Yeah, keep on blowing out those candles.
You're fine. And then it's going to... Let's make an attack on Mao, who is just barely within range.
Huh.
That's gonna hit. You now, too, are grappled.
Guys, don't leave me behind!
And you take
Can I
19 bludgeoning.
I can't really uncanny dodge if it's grappling me, can I?
Well, you can deaden the damage a bit.
Yeah.
So you can just
do
take
that.
10
You can-
damage.
You can tuck and roll.
You
Where
roll
did
with the
everybody
attack,
go?
but the fist sweeping down manages to scrape you up into its frosting.
Into
So now
69
you are
HP.
grappled as well. It's then going to stomp on the Tyrannosaurus's foot with a stomp attack.
Oh my god. What is this cartoon bullshit? Fucking fairies.
It deals
Fucking
25
fairies.
bludgeoning damage. And I guess it moves in a way that can trip the T-Rex, so I'm going to need the T-Rex to make a strength save.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Strength save.
You might not be able to do
So-
it from the thing, you might have to do it from the sheet itself.
Yeah. Hold on. Where in the Dickens is... Okay.
So if you
My
shift double-click it, it should bring up its
computer-
character sheet. Oh,
No, it's my computer is being slow, so hold on. So,
I can do it
shift
for you if you
double-click.
want to.
character sheet. Just click strength.
Yeah, just click strength. It doesn't have proficiency. Okay, so you managed to stay standing. I'm still standing. This cockatrice is dead.
Whee!
Zumasu.
Okay.
Oh, damn it. I hit next by accident. Zumasu, it's your turn, not Mouse.
Okay, I was like,
I
oh.
didn't mate.
So I don't see any threats except for a giant cake monster now, right? The T-Rex.
It would appear that way. There's a T-Rex, there's ghosts swarming around a cake colossus who is holding up its two, like, cake-shaped fists, one with a mon stuck to it and one with Mao stuck to it. Like, gee, Jimmy, how come you get 2 hot dogs?
Wow.
I'm gonna call Dustflicker over and get on Dustflicker as my move action, then use Dustflicker's rest of its movement to attack this thing. You said the candles on the top looked like a vulnerable point because I probably noticed other people going for them, so I'm gonna try and attack those.
They have been blown out. It prevented it from
Oh.
regenerating for now 2 turns in a row. Otherwise, it would
Oh,
have
okay.
40 more hit points than it normally does.
Boomcrash said to keep those out through her brain waves.
It doesn't
before
look like
turning
it
into
has
Rex.
eyes or anything, right?
It
Like,
has
could I
2 little candies, but they don't seem to be actively being used as eyes.
I guess what I'm saying is, could I focus an attack on maybe like an arm or something to see if that would help Amon get loose?
You can use the help action for Amon's turn to give him advantage on his attempt to escape, if that's what you're asking.
Nah, I'll just attack the golem then,
Okay.
if it's just not regenerating. So I'll use Dustflicker to get me out of the group. Dustflicker won't have any movement. Well, he'll use the move action. Yeah, he won't be able to disengage, so he'll just fly me up and take the dodge action, and I'll just swing at this thing.
Okay. Up on your Pegasus, you swing your Dwarven thrower towards it, and land a blow.
That hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, it's a chunky boy, so it's easy to hit. Yeah, I should probably smite this.
Yeah, it's a cake monster. I should probably smite this.
Second
Is it
attack.
fiend or undead?
No,
I don't think
unfortunately.
cake is fiendish. There's devil fruit cake and stuff, but
Only when the cake is a lie. Welcome to 2000.
does an 18 hit?
Hold on, I need to take some, I need to do the initial damage. That's 26, 27, 29. It's 29 damage, and then minus 11, that's 11 damage. An 18 also hits.
Sweet. So far, what are we up to? 16. We're at 24 damage plus another smite, because I want to save my friend.
Yeah, I already did all the damage from the initial attack, so...
Okay. Plus another 12.
Okay, that's gonna be 20, 36... 36 damage. How do you want to do this?
I guess when my first hit like knocks over like a big chunk of frosting, and then I'm like, wait a minute, it's not layered. I could just cut this thing and make it layered, and I'll use Pegasus to like bisect it and let it like slosh off.
You take a wide berth with Dusk Flicker, and then pointing your hammer towards the thing, you charge at the creature's heart, and then covering yourself in Dusk Flicker with sticky frosting and jelly, you blast out of its heart, leaving chunks of frosting everywhere, and the cake, unable to regenerate, starts to collapse in on itself as it falls inward. It collapses
I nick a bit
into
of the frosting off my axe.
Revenge
no.
is a dish best
No,
served
we-
sweet.
We destroyed the souffle. It deflated.
Nice.
Boom Crash, the T-Rex starts happily
Oh, no.
lapping up the cake before eventually the polymorph spell wears off, but not before most of the cake is cleaned up.
we try it. We're like, okay, let's eat some cake. Oh, nope, all for you. Yep, that's fine. Give
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
space.
you don't
Yeah.
contest with a T-Rex.
We all try and approach it, and just the head pops up over the cake corpse, and it's like, all right, no, we're good. Bye.
But once you're done, we'll take some.
Oh, also the tavern's on fire.
Oh, I should probably deal with that.
Shit.
Just also, hey, if anybody has any magic spells, I can put that out. Sorry.
I create food and water. It's the best I can do.
Create water can create... Oh, well... I don't know if create food and water is the same
30
thing.
30 gallons of
It
water.
needs a container. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It says on the ground, but that's not going to be helpful.
Yeah. I think there's a spell for creating water that can create rain, but I don't think you have it.
Control weather is what you gotta do.
No, I think there's like a simple one that just like
Yeah.
creates X gallons of water.
I don't got much that can help in this case. All I'm going to do is fly around and see if I can help anybody out of the inn.
Okay. You guys helped the few people that were asleep while this happened. It seems that one of them got hurt by the
There's
cake
a well.
bursting forth. There is a well. Are you gonna dunk
Yeah.
the inn in the well?
No,
I mean,
just
you could throw some stuff on it, but at a certain point,
Yeah.
a fire is not going to like stop. It's better to just get everybody out. So I'm doing the fireman thing where I knock on the windows, like, ladder, and be like, "Get on my Pegasus if you want to live."
A bunch of people
Actually-
rush out to see the carnage that's ensuing, terrified of the T-Rex devouring the cake and the frozen statues and the swarming undead ghosts. Also the dead chickens, I guess. Whatever.
They're still alive because weren't they polymorph?
Yeah, but it killed them.
I didn't want
one
to
of
kill
them
the chicken.
is definitely roasted.
At
Oh
least,
yeah, that one definitely got roasted.
Sure, some of them have reverted to their other forms and are now just chickens roaming around. Managed to save, I'll say, 2 of them, but the rest
Chicken.
are gone. The cow as well is safe, so that's nice.
I will pet that later. I just want to make sure I save the people in the inn.
Sim
before it
also
burns
takes a
down.
mental note to pet the cow later, as
Yes.
he as he starts helping people out of the inn. All right, well, everybody is panicking at this point. Some people are still like hiding from the T-Rex and the ghosts and everything. There's panic everywhere. Nobody is trying to put out the fire.
Do we know how long the polymorph lasts?
I think it lasts for...
But do we
Actually-
know?
I have no clue.
I don't think we do.
That's a while.
It lasts for up to an hour.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, should we just beat her up?
Or you could. Okay, so
Wait a minute, I could just
yes, it
destroy- I
doesn't
could just
retain personality, but it still still retains like some instincts and alignment. So Boom Crash is still chaotic good and loves you guys. So
Yeah,
love
if anything,
shinies.
she's probably gonna try and cuddle somebody.
Oh my god.
You can
a giant
recognize
mama
your
bird.
friends while you're polymorphed.
What?
You can recognize your friends while you're polymorphed.
Yeah.
This is
so-
kind of like somebody has to watch the cat, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, so she's going to like make a nest out of the ruins of the cake colossus and try and herd Mao into the
Oh.
nest.
No.
Yes.
Actually, what I'm afraid of is the cow that's right behind Big Crash. Is like, it's gonna be like Jurassic Park. It's like, oh no,
I grab. I
where's the cow? And then the cow like just drops onto with the children.
just want to grab like a shiny thing. Oh man, like Zimozo could have used a gem of brilliance and just been like, hey, 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 over here.
Oh yeah, Malcolm.
Yeah. Fine, I'm just gonna cuddle with the T-Rex because T-Rexes are cool. Pat, pat.
Oh.
Zim, also, you've managed to get everybody out of the inn at this point. There weren't too many people in there to begin with.
I can't do much to help put out this inn.
Well,
I
there's-
yelled to him on.
It's like, yep, it's burning all right.
There is a well over there.
I mean, okay, I don't think that's. I'm gonna start dunking some well water on it on a
Just-
giant ass inn.
Get everybody and everyone in the village to try and help out. I'm keeping the T-Rex occupied, so I'm busy.
The people in the town are panicking and running around. Some of them are like going into their houses, closing up the doors. Others are like trying to find where their children are. Some people are mourning the loss of these petrified people and the one dead halfling.
I'm gonna take charge. I'll fly up and just kind of yell out, "Hey! There's an inn on fire! If you've already accounted for your loved ones, please come and help. We need to try and put this out before it spreads."
Make a persuasion check.
Can I get an advantage since I'm flying on a Pegasus? Kind of help speed
Cool.
up shit.
Sure. I'm flying on a Pegasus. Could I have advantage?
Hey,
Oh.
hey, megaphone.
I'm
You know,
majestic as
Performance works. Performance works.
I clicked the wrong thing.
You shout out to everybody, and remembering all of your days back in acting school. It was a minor in the Church of Hieronius. You project from the diaphragm and get everybody to come help. Some people start to approach after realizing that the T-Rex is not a threat, and they start forming a peasant railgun from the well all the way to fire.
The inn's gonna be destroyed by light speed. Water.
Water, yeah.
no.
For once, the building was on fire, and it was not my fault.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is a reference, and if anybody gets it, I will be very impressed.
Oh yeah. Actually, I'm going to. Why doesn't Boomcrash just push the cake into the fire pit? It's only
Because they're a
like...
T-Rex.
Okay, that's fine.
We actually have
Boomcrash
just enough.
only wants to eat and make sure her babies are safe.
We weirdly have just enough peasants to make this railgun work. They form a long chain and start using their free item interaction on each of their turns to move the water from point A to point B in less than 6 seconds, and start splashing this thing with a fire hose.
I have an idea. Give me one of your less full. Actually, empty out your bag of holding.
Me? Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. Give it to
Yeah.
me, and I'm going to go to the well, fill the bag of holding with water, much as I can, and then fly back and dump it.
Sure.
Oh, that works.
To get that completely full, you kind of need to do it yourself, so you kind of like float down into the well, fill the thing underneath the water, and then you float over to the fire, and after they've gotten a few buckets in, you manage to bring like 500 pounds of water, bursting and showering over the inn. And eventually, slowly but surely, the fire is put out.
And Zumasu gets his bag back.
Yeah, I kind of like I'm trying to cover all my weird shit and just like, nothing to see here, folks. You ain't never seen like a few trophies from monsters.
No weird stuff here. Everybody's a little too busy and preoccupied. So you've just kind of like scattered it all at the feet of this petrified woman. Anyway, the fire is put out. The inn is half salvaged. Looks like there's 2 rooms that won't be able to be stayed in, and the kitchen certainly won't be used for a while. But there's maybe a few rooms still left. A few of the people do offer to put up their rooms for board if you guys need it. I think the ghosts eventually go away before the polymorph does.
Yes.
Stop combat as well. Okay, the peasants come around and they thank their new heroic guests for saving them from this strange event from tonight. They start asking, is there any way that you can save my friend, my cousin, my loved one?
Oh god, no.
As they start regarding all of the petrified people, each one of them looking distinctively like a diamond worth of greater restoration.
I asked the town if they have any diamonds.
Can you save them? Do you got any diamonds?
It's only
Well,
because the magic
need it.
needed, the magic components needed, is going to require diamonds to unpetrify.
We'll see what we can do. Maybe somebody has a family heirloom that we can give up.
And I'm gonna help gather all the statues so we can garnish, figure out how much we need.
Yeah,
You
make sure
can
they
turn them
don't.
into a topiary.
Yeah, make sure they don't crack.
Yeah, I'll carefully take them. Got 3, so we need 900 gold pieces worth of diamonds.
There's also a dead halfling that you managed to get up from the the rest of them. I don't know how much time has passed, or if you guys wanted to take care of that shortly after the battle. But
I'll
it's
be
up to you
honest, I
guys.
did not remember
We're
it.
preoccupied with the burning of the inn, so I think it's kind of long gone.
Yeah, unfortunately, I honestly would not have noticed that, considering all the other thing that was happening.
It's easy to overlook a halfling.
Oh.
I was on the other side of
Okay.
the map, to be fair. I didn't even see him go down.
Okay, so Greater Restoration only requires 100 gold points, so I just need the gold points worth of diamonds. So, I just need 300 gold points worth of diamonds.
Okay, let
Do
me see
you
how many diamonds
guys, does Boom Crash revert to their form before
an
this
hour.
happens?
Okay. Also, my big problem is this: I only have one level slot for it. I will get it 2 in the morning again.
Okay. Boom Crash eventually reverts, still hugging Mao in a massive frosting, and starts to realize, ooh, this is very sticky.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. She starts doing prestidigitation to try and clean up
As you
herself
start
as well as
swishing
Mao.
off the frosting from you and Mao as you emerge from this giant monstrosity that has been half-eaten by the T-Rex, Sumasu starts trying to gather people for diamonds and whatnot, and you recall from your natural 20 on your nature check that the petrification from a cockatrice goes away after 24 hours.
Guys, the petrification from a cockatrice goes away in a day, so
All right.
Oh,
That's
you
good.
don't have to.
Oh, what about
I
that
d-
one? That one's dead.
yeah, we kind
Yeah,
of.
maybe prioritize.
It's been over a minute though. Ahmad, do you have anything stronger?
Let's see. I do. Okay, Raise Dead. I do have that.
I take out a diamond. How much is raised dead?
I'm looking the stat out right now.
Okay, and I turn to others and let them know that what Bumcrash
Okay.
just said. She's a wizard. She knows this shit. They should be fine in a day, but this guy will have to help out.
I got a problem. It needs
What?
to, because it can't just be diamonds that are worth the 500 points. It needs to be a single diamond worth 500 gold points. It's the most expensive spell component.
I have 2 350 diamonds, but they're separate.
Exactly.
Let me look in my inventory. Hold on.
Same.
Come on, darling. Load, you fool.
I have a bunch of little ones, but I don't have a single large beast.
Wait, didn't we get a wand or something that could do stuff?
Have a Rod of Resurrection.
Mm.
How many charges does that thing have?
But then it's attunements, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It takes 5 charges, which is all of its charges, I think. That's how that one works.
Yeah,
Oh, and if
it's
it
one
was that-
free one.
I'm just gonna look up the resurrection, but it casts for free, right? On like spells with items on it.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
No,
In that
I gave you
case-
my diamonds. I don't have any more.
Okay.
Right.
In that case, all right. Give me the rod.
Just wait a day and then
No,
or
no,
an hour.
no. I can just do it in 2 hours. Because
Yeah.
I need an hour to attune,
Yeah.
and resurrection cast takes an hour to cast.
Okay.
So it's like I'm just gonna sit there with my arms crossed. It's like, give me 2 hours, and I'm just gonna sit there and just stare at the dead body.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna just kind of try and ease people's tensions a little bit. Like it's fine. The thing's dead. Just I'll
make
do
sure
a little
they-
bit of an investigative check.
Make sure
Also
they
to
don't
see if
fall
anybody knew
over
what
when they
fix-
wake up and stuff like that. What are you investigating?
If anybody saw like if it was the pixies that caused all this, and anyone saw anything weird come in, sort of thing.
As you ask around, it seems that they didn't really see the thing coming. Only a few of them actually saw the pixies. The chickens just kind of turned of their own accord. It was very sudden. The sprites can turn invisible, so they were very hard to pin down as the culprits until you guys showed up.
And I asked them if they've had pixie problems in the past or something.
No, we haven't had any problems like that around here. It was very unusual. There's the occasional sprite or pixie or fairy, but a whole swarm of them. That was truly bizarre.
Well, okay. At least it's done with now. No more cake golem, for instance.
Hope
A
so.
lot of
At least
cake.
there's enough cake for everybody.
Just try to stay away from the nested area. The T-Rex was on it.
I
Right.
prestidigitation that area a little bit.
It's gonna take a lot more than that.
Boom Crash burps in a very ladylike fashion.
Nice.
Excuse me.
Oops.
It's wet and guttural.
Yeah, just like ladies. Amon, you finally attune to the rod, and begin casting resurrection over this poor halfling. Their loved ones have gathered around, waiting anxiously for the hopeful return of the creature. Thankfully, it is successful. It was not their time to go, and they certainly wanted more time with their friends.
They want to eat the cake.
All right. In that case,
Time to roll a d20.
yep.
I'll
Wait,
let
is it
you roll
random,
it.
right?
On a 1, it disappears forever.
We good.
We're good.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna hype it up because if I hyped it up, it would have been a 1.
You
Okay,
know how it
okay,
is.
Okay, let's assuming that we hyped it up. It's not gonna happen. Well, it's not gonna happen. I mean, after all, we only rolled nothing but ones this entire game.
Yeah.
And it's only a 5% chance.
Okay, so
But
It won't
9
happen
and 10, the
yet.
difference is 1.
uh,
So nobody die for 5 days, okay, guys?
Right.
Please.
Are
Alright,
there more cataplebuses around?
don't appear to be.
Good.
As everybody starts settling down, people try to start cleaning up the cake, and then eventually just decide, no, this is a tomorrow problem, maybe a next week problem.
Yeah.
I will
It's
say,
I hope it rains so it washes it away problem.
yeah, hopefully
If
it
you
rains
still have
tonight.
chickens, just unleash the farm animals on it.
Oh my
They'll
god.
Take care of it real
They're gonna
quick.
have tummy aches.
I don't know if
Chickens
that's
will
healthy
eat
for them.
Anything. No, it's not, but they'll eat anything.
They will.
Chickens are garbage disposals.
Yeah.
They will destroy. They
will
don't
also
care.
destroy themselves, and they also
Yes.
don't care.
Because they don't care.
I feel like there must have been a crime drama where somebody fed a body to chickens.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. They
chickens
cannibalize.
can't
They don't give a
tear
shit.
well enough. That's the problem.
Yeah,
So
that's
it'd be
true.
like decomposing while they're
Yeah,
eating it.
yeah. But if it's decomposing at that point, just let it rot.
Yeah.
Because
Pigs
chickens
are
can't-
better.
yeah,
If this
pigs are-
village
pigs are
has
better.
pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. They also will eat everything. Release the pigs!
hmm
Zumasu, you feel a sharp pain in your neck.
Okay. I don't like that.
You swat at it like a mosquito, and you hear a little ew!
I see if I can pinch it to grab it.
You
I'm
grasp
looking
at
for
it,
pixies.
and a sprite comes forth in your hand. Its invisibility starts to flicker and fade away. It had a little rapier in its hand that's now bent in two.
Alright, what's your deal, buddy? It's not nice to stab people.
You're the one that that screwed up all our fun.
Your fun was almost destroyed a bunch of things. That's not very nice.
It was just a prank, bro.
Just
Zuma said
imagine.
I audibly groan.
Give it to me. I'm
I
gonna.
give the okay. You're gonna not enjoy this, and I hand it over to Amon.
All right. I have necrotic touch. I'm just holding on to it. I'm just gonna let it defeat on the necrotic touch.
Oh no!
D6 damage each round, each 6 seconds. So 1 damage per second. Let's see how long this lasts.
Not very long.
You guys ruined our fun. It was the holiday. The Nimble Lilies jokes on you, spring blessing, blash. We were just trying to have some fun, and then you guys had to go and ruin it. And what is that smell? That feeling? That ah! It dies. sure hope so. I can't hear it on my end, so.
Oh god,
That was brutal and hilarious.
that fed a deep, dark part of my soul, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Ow.
The tooth fairy.
I put it in the canopic jar.
Nice.
Shriveled up body.
A blighted pixie corpse.
I shake it like a cocktail jar and you just put it in.
Some people maybe might pay something for dead fairies.
That's gotta be a magical component somewhere.
You could
Hey,
ask.
I mean, back guano can be a spell component. Anything can.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Things start to diffuse, and people go back to their homes. You guys are allowed to stay at the inn, and in fact, probably presented as a compromise for accidentally destroying it. Yeah, the rest of the people go back to their homes.
I didn't have to save him. He could have died in the fire.
He also destroyed his inn.
Yeah, and if he died with it, then no one would know.
Mal, that's
fine.
not how it works when everybody can see the inn burning.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have to pay. But there wouldn't be an inn for us to stay in. Never mind. It's fine.
You did the right thing though by saving that guy. I didn't see you there because I was covered in a pixie swarm, but I'm glad that you did that right thing.
Yeah, and I stopped the pixies on the inside from destroying most of the tavern. Never mind.
They weren't actually destroying the tavern.
Shh. They don't
Their
do
actions
that.
did destroy the tavern, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the cake did burst through the walls.
Yeah. This guy's gonna need a lot to repair this inn, but I guess that's not technically your issue. It's an act of Fae. I was gonna say act of God.
Not my house, not my fire.
God
I
damn
have
it.
a question. Who had
Not my monkeys, not my circus.
who had the rod of resurrection in their inventory?
Not me.
Because we didn't throw it away, but someone had it. Who had it?
Isn't it just you?
Yeah, I thought you had it in your inventory.
Mm,
I never wrote it down mine, so.
No, I never wrote it down. That's the thing. Like, we took it. I know that, but like, someone just assumed to just have taken it and just not actually
on.
used it.
Let me check the bank.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna assume that you guys left it behind, so I assume somebody took it.
Yeah, we took it because we were like it's still, it's like a 1 hour thing. We knew that it was useful, so.
Rod of Resurrection. Boom Crash had it.
Okay.
It was just in your
Okay.
baggie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you would have
Yeah,
had
fanny
to
pack.
get rid of Boom Crash's T-Rex form before you could get it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it took a while.
Used with their body.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
God, polymorph is weird in this edition.
Yeah. You guys spend the night at the Grey Rose, and awaken. The smell of soot and ash is still floating in the air, and the cake's colossal corpse is still pasted onto the like entryway to the entire town. The guards are now like sweeping it up early in the morning as the sun starts to rise into the sky. And an uneventful night passes.
Uneventful.
Oh, sorry, there were
Uneventful.
2 events. There was the
Yeah.
celebration tomorrow, and then the celebration that the fairies were
Alright.
having.
We're leaving.
Right. So, you guys pack up your stuff. The villagers thank you once again for your help in bringing back their slain friend. And the petrified people missed a lot, but they're quickly filled in by their laughing comrades. You guys saddle up to continue your journey to Connacht, hoping that there are no more events.
Faye.
Anyway, there's
It's
4
like
more little
Faye
circles
in
here, so
particular.
let's see what we want to do.
In this world, instead of getting cockroaches, people get Faye.
No, I thought cockroaches are boggles.
Either one.
Boggles.
I have a question. Do we get a full rest though?
Yeah,
Despite
you get a full rest. Maybe you get a late start to the day, but it's fine.
That's fair.
Sweet. Okay, I'm gonna give my health back and I'm gonna give my slots back. I didn't take too much damage because they can't hit my armor.
Yeah, most of those things that were in that encounter can't really hit you guys. It's the fact that each of them has a potentially deadly take them out in one hit ability.
Yeah.
Petrification,
Yeah.
sleep, and death.
Yeah.
And the Colossus is just the hit points. It was a fun encounter. I liked it. I'm
Yeah.
proud of it.
It was really fun. It was really weird, but I'm glad I got to do a Godzilla.
Actually, the
And
most
then a
rewarding
Marie
part was-
Antoinette. I'll take it.
To let them eat cake, I understand. Okay, so as you make your way,
Further to the forest?
yep, the
I assume we're not
Scablands.
moving to the side.
The Scablands give their way to the fortress, to the forest. I mean, this is more of a representational thing because both of again these forks are just kind of places you can go.
Mhm.
Actually, probably, yeah, okay. So, as you're flying on, actually, Fort Grennan is pretty far south. Fort Grennan is, as I said, pretty far south, but in that direction, you can see a few things that might pass your fancy. You see... Okay, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Make a perception check to see if you see. See if you see the things you see.
Everyone?
Yeah, everyone. You guys are soaring over the forest, heading a little south as you try to make your way towards Connacht.
Make him away.
Line your
Yep,
way
horse
up.
is doing better than I am.
Okay. The horse does see a glint in the sky. Mao picks up on it as well. The distance near the south, you can see that there is a little sparkle coming from a set of flapping wings. Looks like it's fairly far away, but the wings look a bit larger. Looks like a giant eagle is carrying something.
Are giant eagles bad?
Make a
I don't
history
know.
check, or I'll make a nature check.
I feel like everything giant's bad. Giant cake, giant lizard, giant bird.
Pixies weren't giant.
They were all.
I don't know. I don't know much about birds. Boom Crash. Do you know anything about birds?
Wow.
Does Volo's Guide know anything about birds?
Yeah, I'll give you advantage. Well, actually, no, I won't, because Volo's Guide was meant to be a guide to the Underdark.
Okay, that is fair. So, 14. Advantage wouldn't have helped much anyway.
Okay. Well, a 15 is enough to learn about these. Well, actually, no advantage. So 14 is still enough. They're only CR3 creatures. Giant eagles are generally good creatures. They're actually fairly intelligent and have their own language that they share amongst each other. The language is called Giant Eagle.
Great.
That's dumb. Okay, but I kind of want to say hi to them.
They are flying towards Fort Grennan. You can catch up with them, but since they have just about as much fly speed as Dust Flicker, it'll take some time. So it would be a sizable diversion.
Kind of have a thing to go to.
Basically, it means, do you want to go this way?
Not particularly enough. What about y'all?
I'd rather go to Connacht.
I'd rather go to Connacht.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's leave the eagle be.
You start heading to a more direct route to Connacht. To the unknown of the forest, the Aaronross Forest. As you recall your geography of this dimension, this world.
At least we're not on the ground where things can eat us or pixies can find us.
Exactly. You're high above the forest. You can see a few things in this area. As much as you've just seen forest for a while, you've seen like a few creatures down below. You've seen like some pegasi just off in the distance flying about. You can start to see the little hill that Connacht is posted on. It has a particularly tall building that does peek over all of the trees. You can see the river that cuts through the forest, making its way on around and through the city. However, as start to see more activity down below, you kind of decide maybe to fly a bit higher over the clouds. And as you peek out over the clouds, you see an unusual sight high above you guys, even beyond the clouds. There is a floating object suspended in midair. It is large. It looks to be made of stone. It has a sort of squarish appearance.
What? Is this like directly above Connacht or like?
It's not directly above Connacht. It's actually more near where you guys are, but it is very high up.
So it's like a giant floating cube thing? Rectangle thing?
Well, I'll have you make perception checks to see if you can make it out.
Is it a pyramid?
It's the pyramid, no.
Okay.
Said it's squarish.
Well, a
could
pyramid
be
looks like
seeing
a
it from
square
the
from
bottom.
underneath. Yeah, see?
That's
Crosses with me.
true.
For once I beat my Pegasus.
Yay! Boomcrash
Mal,
is very busy.
Yep.
now your
Still
eagle
thinking about that
eyes,
cake.
your eagle eyes are able to sort of keenly look at the thing, even amidst the blowing winds that are rushing past you guys in the cloud cover. It looks like a tower, but just suspended in the air. It's even got like crenellations on top of its like squarish form. It's a bit taller than it is wide. It's just hard to tell from down here.
We should approach this invisible. That doesn't look good.
Give me
Wait.
1 second.
I don't know,
Is
it's just
this-
weird. It's just a tower.
Is this ringing bells? Is this? Oh, no, I think I'm misremembering. There was the wizard that Aetoris was sponsoring that was doing some sort of weird weather research. But I don't think this is
They
related.
did have
You
a
wanna-
floating tower, but that was floating by merit of the anomaly below it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
This one is
That's-
shaped differently from that.
Okay.
So it doesn't sound like it doesn't look like any of the cult towers.
Oh no, it looks much smaller than the cult towers.
Do you guys want to visit?
Kinda.
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 This other.
All right, I will not use my executive veto. Let's go down there.
Alright, I'm just as
Amon is
curious enough
curious?
too. You guys start flying up towards the thing.
Well, at this point, we can't ignore disguise potential of a disguised tower.
I think it's just weird that there may be another player in all of this that's floating above Connacht, or even like in between Connacht and New Dawn.
Yeah, what if
I'm
it's
so-
what if it's like a secret weapon or whatever?
Yeah.
Pretty neat. Let's check it out. Let's check out the nuclear silo.
No.
Okay, are you guys taking any precautions? I heard invisibility.
It might be good.
Let me see. Do we all want to be invisible, or how we want to do this?
Is anyone on my carpet?
No,
I
you
don't
you all have your individual carpets.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going in. You lot stay invisible and stay away. I'm going in. So
Oh no.
Okay, but Goose is going with you, so you have, or you take a sending stone with you, so we can have communication.
you'll see me crash into the earth on fire.
No, that's not good enough, honey.
That'll be the signal that something is wrong.
No, that's not good enough.
I hand him the sending stone I had. Okay, here you go. Just,
All right.
Okay,
Um,
I turned everybody
Lena,
except
follow him.
Goose and Amon invisible. You can adjust your spell slots accordingly if that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
let me see.
Actually, Goose, because it's like she's a familiar, she can be effective too, right?
They can
So,
if
yeah,
you
just-
want to do that, Boom Crash.
Yeah, just have
yeah.
Goose be invisible. Like Goose being visible is not a big deal.
And I
well-
assume someone needs to cover Mao for their spell, so it needs to be a little higher than normal.
I'll do mine lasts longer, so I'll do the level 3 one to get me and Mao and my Pegasus since I'm writing it.
Okay, and Alina has an innate invisibility. Okay, you guys all turn invisible. Goose is traveling with Amon. As Amon ventures up towards this abandoned sky tower up here. Hopefully abandoned. We'll see. You guys start flying up there, and I will let you know that the air is starting to get very thin. In fact, it's starting to get hard to breathe this far up. But as you soldier on, you take a few breaths before heading up towards the Sky Tower, and Amon makes his entrance. But we'll have to get to that next time. So, thank you all for watching. This has been the Dorkvision stream. If you want to watch, we're here every Sunday from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch our sister stream, The Rime of the Frost Maiden, that's on Wednesdays from 7 to 10. You can find my books on DriveThruRPG and the DM's Guild, and support me on Patreon/NobleCrumpet. If you stick around, I'll see if we have enough people to venture a raid. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and be sure that pixies stay away from your cake. Good night, everybody.
Cheers. Be well.
Take care.
Adios.